but yeah.
Yeah, but that's only like if I'm like, you know, like
You know, at
if
first,
I'm not,
at
if I
first
don't have
start,
any
at
energy.
first start,
If I
when
feel like I'm like,
all right, now he really wants to talk and he's cutting me off, and you don't do that to the moderator, all right,
my
man.
bad, my
Yeah,
bad, my bad, bro.
the moderator does that to you, but no, like at first when you used to get quiet, man, I thought you were kind of like starstruck. You know, with having K Mega and the Don here, I mean, who wouldn't be starstruck? You
It's
know,
true, man. You know, K Mega is like on a pedestal. You know, he's like, you know, he's
and,
he's right there. You know,
but now,
he's
but
right below
now,
God,
now, Dark, there is
just
no
right there.
excuse for any of that bullshit, man. I'm just saying, there's none.
Well, dude,
Damn,
now
son.
I'm on this diet now that like makes me have like a ton more energy too. So it's like it's even better.
What diet?
It's
Well,
called
they sell
keto.
grapes in the area where he lives.
Yeah, I've done keto.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Nah.
No, it's a Southern California thing. And by the way, guys, welcome to the. Hold on, let me see. Am I on? Am I on? Hold on. Yes, I am. Welcome to the pregame, everybody. I had to
Nice.
make sure. Had to make sure I actually hit the button. Yeah, everybody in the chat, what is going on? Yeah, I had to make sure I was actually streaming because you don't know behind the scenes how many times I'm like, welcome to the pregame, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't hit stream yet. So I had to do it again. But that coming back, moderating, one shot, one time, I got it done. Huge shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Everybody on the panel, what's going on, guys? What have you been getting into today, man?
Not much, dude. I've been playing some, you know, Wolfenstein 2, dude. It's been awesome. Jumping back into gaming, you know, because I didn't have internet for a little while and stuff like that. So, you know.
Well, it is really hard to have like an internet cable going through an igloo, and
Yeah. You got to drill, and then you know you're afraid it might melt, and you know you just got to be very careful with it. It's just, it's a process, you know.
all right.
But I got to.
I am fixing your levels. Everybody's levels right now. Bring Pred up a little bit.
Okay.
How are my levels? My levels good?
Your levels are usually good. I only brought you up a little bit as well, man.
Okay.
King, I
You got
actually
to put me in the Hawk level.
King, I actually turned King down all the way, so he's gonna be talking a lot, and nobody's gonna hear him right now. So.
Dang.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
He had to turn Pred all the way up and then turn you all the way down because we can never hear.
Yeah.
How come it's just waiting for Xbox?
Well, he's a predator.
Right, man.
Oh, hold up here.
Oh shoot.
Guys, I will have to say, unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of gaming done today. I was in here dealing with the gameplay and everything like that. I will say, the gameplay is freaking hot, man. I get a chance to see it all, like all the way through. And the only thing I gotta say, man, there's a lot of Assassin's Creed. Yo, you guys have been going crazy on that, man.
It's a long game,
dude,
man.
man.
A lot of shit to play, a lot of shit to do in that game. So.
I already ended it, but it was really good.
Yeah, I was going hard on that game, and then I just kind of tailed off. I don't know. I think I got bored.
Did you pick up the new update of it?
Really? I don't.
Oh.
I haven't played it in a while.
All right, yeah. So they gave out a new update on Tuesday, and the update fixes some textures that's in the game and gives you a longer draw distance in the game. New NPCs and more population if you have an X. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I have the Fat Boy
He's like, no, I don't.
2013 model. What does it do for that?
Oh man, you don't even have a simple. You have
Is that what you call the S? The Xbox
Is that what S stands for? Simple?
yeah, Xbox simple. Yeah.
The 900p
Xbox
box.
One is old. S is simple. X is extreme.
Yeah.
Well, it is very extreme, because if you say it's extreme, it's even spelling the word extreme wrong. That's how extreme it is. Damn, yo, now I gotta go back in and check that out. I kind of keep single player games in my back pocket. King, you know, man, I've been playing Destiny 2 like it's going out of style. Like they're gonna take it away from me, man. So That's pretty much what.
It's kind of debatable, being that you play with me. So.
Maybe not this past week. You said I do play the game with you, but you gotta really let them know. I let you and the Iron Lords actually just pull me through raids. That's what I do. Like I go in with you guys. You guys take care of it all, and I reap the rewards at the end, man. That's what happens.
He's downplaying his gaming skill. Yeah, he's downplaying. Because he's sitting there, he's gonna tell you that we pull him through. That is crap. He holds his weight. So trust me, he's in there balling. He's
hey
balling.
man, I'm getting better, but yo, I gotta say, like going in with you guys, you know, the Channel 5 crew, guys. If you're looking for a clan to get in on Destiny with, you definitely got to check out Channel 5. It's the crew that I'm in as well, the clan I'm in, and I'm talking about people getting together, doing the raid layer, getting that honey-do list done, man. This is a very active clan, and I'm a proud member of it, and it's cool to actually have people that are on the game and willing to group up and do stuff, man.
What did you have to do to get in that clan? Anything special?
Well, we can't tell. It's a no talk clause. Fight Club.
Yeah, you had to go into a secret area in the tower.
Oh no, we meet up. Okay. We meet up.
but see, the good thing is, I might have had to jump through a few hoops to get on. But for you guys out in the chat, maybe a couple people on this panel, you guys can join up, no problem. You know what I'm saying? And kind of reap the benefits and of an active community, man. Make new friends on Xbox Live. You know what it do, man. Xbox got that live community, so it would be really
well. I love how you said a couple people. Pretty much you're saying like
I
know you're not
I kind of was sitting there like
man.
I don't know, Dark. Like I said, you were one of the people when I got Destiny 2. Oh, we're gonna play together, all this good stuff, and all of a sudden, cricket.
And then when you got it, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Dude, just like, and he's not here to defend himself, so you know what that means on this podcast. It means we're gonna go in harder on this person, but the Don who came in and played Destiny 2 with me, he was talking about the expansion, all that good stuff. As soon as the expansion comes, like a couple days before it comes out, he's like, yeah, I'm not getting it. And I'm like, what? What? Dude, we were going in like duo, man, tag team and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I'm not getting it. I'm like, you ass, man. But anyway, that's just how I really feel.
That kind of sucks. I mean, that kind of sucks, but when I purchased the game, I purchased everything all in one. I purchased the bundle, so I pretty much had no choice but to look forward to it. I know I'm gonna game. I know I'm about gaming. Our podcast is the Iron Lords podcast. We are all about Destiny. So, and I'm really hammering it.
I love the fact that I actually got the honorary Lord's title as well.
Yes.
I am coming out with new icons and stuff like that. You know, Lord Xbot, aka King Neutral. I'm gonna have that icon up on Twitter and everything. You know.
Oh yeah, we need to have you on the show because I brag about you and I talk about you enough. So definitely need to have you.
This is already my favorite episode of the podcast, and we didn't even get the intro done yet. Thank you.
Anytime you meet new gamers, because somebody was telling me, I was telling them they was like, yo, who you was running with this week? I was like, I was running with Xbot. He was like, who the YouTuber? I said, no, my boy Xbot. He's like, no, you talk about 448? Yeah, man, he's huge. I'm like, he's huge. I said, no, he's not. I said, listen, I said that's my dude. And we play.
Nice.
He's huge.
And he's like,
I lost about 20 pounds, man. Doing good.
I don't know. I saw you on Mel's stream that one night. I was like, you get a little fat, bro. Get a little frumpy.
Yo, dude.
That's the Danishes.
We gotta be honest here. Oh snaps, like when
he likes the Roman Danishes.
See, I'm not even going to question that because I have no idea what that is, and I'm afraid that's going to go down a dark alley for the show, man.
Probably. we don't want it to turn into GRG.
Kind of like monkey bread and stuff like that, man. I'm not sure. It's all double meanings, yeah.
You definitely don't want it to get crazy like GRG did that one night when I was on it.
Yo, speaking of GRG, I need some help from the chat. Yo, anybody out there in the chat who follows KMega405, I need you to go on Twitter, right? And I need you to find out where he is, because I don't know what happened. He's missing.
APB.
Yeah.
He was having a beef with All Day on Twitter. He might have closed up shop.
All Day made him disappear. Man, guys, huge shout out to the chat. Yo, Keith Bailey, what is going on? My boy Vogel, he's on Twitter and on Xbox and of course on YouTube. Man, he is one of those huge supporters of my channel, O-Snap's channel. Everybody in the community. Andy Mack, what is going on, bro? Huge shout out to him because even though he didn't give the code to me, he gave PUBG to O-Snaps, and me and O-Snaps, we game share. So, therefore, he actually gave the game to me as well. So, huge shout out to Andy Mack. Let's see, we got Predator H2O. Stinking Corpse. Yo, huge shout out to everybody. I don't know where K-Mega is. I don't know if his boy Porter Rock just got tired of arguing back and forth and tied him up, put him in a New York City basement somewhere. But the show's got to go on, man. I don't know. Are you guys ready to check out the intro?
Yeah.
All right, now you're gonna hear.
Sounds good.
Now you're gonna hear me clicking and stuff like that for a minute. So, hold up. Ooh. All right, guys, here we go. What's going on, people, and welcome to another episode of the next podcast. That is right, people. I am back in the seat where I am supposed to be moderating this show. For people who follow the channel, you know, we weren't on last Saturday, and then the Saturday before that, you know, I was going to go in and make fun of him and stuff like that, but K-Mega went ahead and took the reins on this show for me, and he did an incredible job. So I just want to say, you know, to K-Mega out there, before he comes into the hangout, yo, thank you so much, man. I really did appreciate that. But it feels so good to be back moderating this show. And guys, we have a really great show lined up for you guys tonight. The topics are hot. We're gonna go in on Destiny 2 and whether or not Bungie is really trying to rip people off when it comes to Destiny 2 and the DLC, you know, locking modes behind the DLC that people could play, you know, before the expansion came out, stuff like that. We're going to go in on PUBG, as you can see from the gameplay right now. We got a little PUBG running. Sea of Thieves, Death Stranding, and a lot more. But before we get into the topics, I got to introduce the panel. And tonight, with me coming back, we don't only have one special guest, but we have two. And I didn't know who I was going to introduce first, so I'm going to take it back to like 5th grade, and I'm going to do it alphabetically. So, for the first time on Next Podcast, it's his first ever appearance. I'm really excited to have him on. Me and him game together on Destiny 2. Not only that, I go in and I hang out on his Iron Lord podcast as well. It is my pleasure to introduce KingDavid.
Oh, that was fantastic. I love that. Feels like I'm coming down the aisle. I'm like, yeah, baby, touch your shoulders. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
You just need your
Oh man,
entry
listen.
music, man.
Yeah, I know. I wanted it. I wanted the Goldberg music. You know, man, I had the police moving them out of the way, moving them out the way. Yeah, it was great to be here. Like I said, me and Xbox, we get it done every week, or we try to, as much as possible on Destiny and Destiny 2, actually. The Curse of Osiris is really good. I'm from Iron Lord's podcast. I'm the excess gamer. That means I game excessively. I have everything. Um, and listen, it's great to be here. I can't wait to dig into the topics. The topics are hot, and I just can't wait to to build with you guys on this stuff.
Nice, man.
Let's do it.
I always get really excited when it's a first time special guest and stuff like that. I love introducing the community to people. You're a very intelligent gamer. We're gonna basically be doing stuff that we normally do while we're playing Destiny anyway, talking about games, gaming news, and stuff like that. So it's real cool. I can't wait to see how many people really relate to you, follow you on Twitter, check out the Iron Lords podcast, everything like that. But we'll get into that at the end of the show with all the plugs. We got to go on to our next special guest, and he is no stranger to the next podcast. I believe this is his third time coming on the show, and I have to give him a huge shout out because he just recently got into the exclusive club of 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. Of course, I am talking Saltiest Gaming.
What's up, my fellow gamers? It's good to be back on the next podcast. I'm loving it. We just hit 1K on the Saltiest Gaming YouTube channel. I couldn't be more happy to be back here, honestly. I love you guys. I love talking about gaming. I'm passionate about it. I put the special in special guest, so get ready. Because
I thought you were going to say special ed, man.
I put the special in special ed. Stay salty.
Yo, Salty, man, you are a part of the next extended family. It is always a blast having you on, man. I love talking games with you as well, and I can't wait to see what you have to say about the topics that we have tonight. Now, we have to go down with our, what Mooch would say, usual suspects, and I'm going to start with the man who promises he is going to be on the show more regularly because he gave up building the igloo in Southern California. Yes, I am talking Dark Goldblum.
What's up, everyone? It's good to be back on to the next podcast. It's been a while. I'm just ready to get into these topics and maybe save the world another time or two.
Yeah. Within 2 weeks, he's gonna save it 10 times, guys.
Dude, I'm gonna save it 10 times. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna save it 10 times. I'm gonna try.
Dude, it is good to have you back, man. I'm glad your move went successfully. It was still kind of weird that it took 3 weeks, but it's good that you're feeling comfortable in your new location now.
Well, it was the internet, man. Not having the internet. That was the biggest thing.
Southern California, I thought when babies get born, like they hand them a modem, like they automatically have internet down there. What's going on, dude?
No, man, they don't do that. But yeah, it's just been crazy.
All right, and
here we go.
Yo, it's the Angry Otter. Oh my goodness, we know what that means. But guess what? We're gonna save that name for last. I do want to introduce the man who is, I guess you could say, quickly becoming the PUBG professional in our Xbox Live community. Not only that, he almost single-handedly took out Predator in the new Ghost Recon DLC. Of course, I am talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Predator!
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Our two new guests, Saltiest and Iron Lord. Hope you guys have a good time here today. Ready to get in these topics, man. So thanks for showing up, you guys.
Man. Yo, I do have to ask, because I said almost took him out single-handedly. Are you going to go back into the DLC for Ghost Recon? Are you going to try to take out Predator, like, strictly by yourself without a crew? Or
it's a little difficult with doing that because like your AI teammates don't fucking listen. So
they bang their head on the wall.
I felt like I was reviving them the whole fucking time I was doing it. And then,
see one of them humping a tree. Oh, it's just
it's
not good.
Like, get behind cover, dumbass, and they're just like getting shot. So I'm like, yeah, I'll stick with doing it with a squad.
all right, man. Well, if somehow, some way you do decide you're gonna take them out single-handedly and you get it done, I want to let you know next podcast needs that gameplay for the show for that Saturday. All right, man.
Will do. Will do.
All right. Yeah. All right. Next on the list, the diva-ness is strong in this one, and of course he is coming live from the 405. I am talking about my brother K Mega.
What up, everybody? What's up, man? I've been waiting for Dark Otter to bring his ass back so he can know his new noise. So his new little sound. We finally found what you sound like when you're angry. And
man.
As always. I'm sorry, man. I was playing Street Fighter V with my boy Lawrence, and I haven't played in a long time and just wanted to get back into it, and it just got really competitive, and I got lost track of time. So I apologize for being late. But man, glad to be here as always.
Dude, when you said competitive in Street Fighter, man, you kind of brought that nostalgia back. You had me thinking about the times I used to run to the corner store to play Street Fighter. Like, all the kids in my neighborhood run to the corner store. We all had our quarters up and stuff like that. Is that the type of competitive? Because it got mean at the store, man. We got kicked out and everything.
We did a lot of bitching. We was telling how much we hated Street Fighter V when we was whooping each other's ass. You're a cheater. I hate you. It was all types of stuff. But at the end, man, it was fun, and I held my own. I finally held my own. Normally, when I've been playing people, I've been getting my ass kicked, but when I play Lawrence, it gets real intense because he's really good at fighting games, and so I gotta bring it. I gotta turn up the level. So I might be ready for those Porter Rocks and others that out there that say that they're good at that Street Fighter V.
Nice. Yo, when it comes to Porter Rock, man, it was funny. Like, when I knew you were gonna end up in the hangout, and it's better late than never. But like, I got a little nervous because I know, when it comes to Porter Rock, man, he could get crazy sometimes. I was like, I hope he didn't get angry over you and him kind of going back and forth throughout time, and tied you up, put you in the New York City basement. I mean, you would have been closer to my house, but you would have been farther away from your computer, man. You wouldn't have been able to hit the hangout, yeah?
Oh, no, never that. Never, man. They're not going to catch me like that. And they'll never catch me slipping like that, Jack. But no, man. We just lost track of time, man. I'm not going to miss my show. Well, you're back now. So
well, I already gave you your props for moderating, but you weren't here. So you're going to actually have to come and give me a view after the show to hear what I said about it, all right?
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty funny. But anyway, right. No, I'm just glad to be here, man. And welcome, special guest, man. Glad to have you on. And I wasn't including Salty on that.
Oh,
dang.
Yo, Salty, see how much of the extended family you are? You're already catching it from K Mega.
He's everywhere. Salty is everywhere. And congratulations on your 1,000 subs, bro.
I'm spreading the salt where I can, bro. It's everywhere.
He's got the Saltiest Gaming Podcast on YouTube. What are you talking about, man? And I would like to say K Mega was late, but at least he's here because the man I'm gonna throw his name out now, the Don, unfortunately couldn't make it. I have no idea what he's doing, traveling or doing something, but he couldn't make it. Mega, you are earlier than the Don today. That's for damn sure.
Once I beat Don, life is fine.
Yo, I want to give a huge shout out to Oh Snap It's Mel, who is out there doing her thing. That job where she actually gets paid. Not being a part of this podcast, nobody gets paid. But the job where you actually get paid, she's out doing that right now. Her new vape mod, it's really cool, and she's probably driving around just vaping up the car and making the cops look very suspicious at her. Not only that, huge shout out to
Wait, you said nobody's getting paid? Wait, hold up, wait a second.
Dude, the deal between me and you, the panel can't know
okay.
about, man. What?
Oh, hey, you done messed up, bro. You done said, I'm about to send everybody to motherfucking Hades. I ain't getting no money. We're supposed to be getting money.
Welcome to the next podcast with the only panelist is going to be me going from here on out now. But and huge shout out to my boy Fuskies, who is also doing really well, with his new job and everything like that. He's been working crazy hours. For people who follow, next podcast for, we've been on for over a year now. He is one of the original panel members, and it's good to see that, life is treating him and his girl well. And hopefully we'll get him back on at some point in time. And, I've been gently like nudging him a little bit, and we'll see if his job will give him some time in the future. But other than that, man, we got some hot topics to talk about. We got to get into it. And I don't know, do you guys want to talk PUBG first? That seems to be a really hot ticket right now, and I think just about everybody on the panel has played it. Has anybody not played PUBG on this panel? Raise your hand. Dark Ottoman? All right, well, you know the deal. 2 special guests. Special guests go first. We're going alphabetically right now, so we got to hit KingDavid first. Yo, KingDavid, playing PUBG, you got to let us know. Do you like the game? Is it what you expected? Is it hitting that niche for you when it comes to a battle royale? How do you feel about PUBG right now in game preview, man?
All right. Well, I had a chance to touch it on my PC before I got it on Xbox, right? But I didn't. So I said I'm going to wait. I'm going to suffer just like everybody else, all my friends. And then it launched. Shout out to Lord Sovereign, who I purchased the game for, and Lord Dizzy, I purchased the game for them too. And also I have my buddy that I game with all the time. He's a young kid. He's 17. Doesn't work, but he's a great help to his mom's, Cole. So I purchased him the game for Christmas. And I said, let's all get into it. So, all my team, we got into the game, and it's rough around the edges. I must say that. It's terrible to look at sometimes, but also in its simplicity, there's magnificence. It's the grind of it, parachuting down, running inside a room, gearing up, scavenging for stuff. My first thing is I scavenge for my stuff, grab a car and go to the middle of the map, and then, clear out the houses in the map, and then camp out and wait for people to show up when the map closes in on them. But I also found a trick, guys. If you turn off your broadcasting inside this, your settings, the game runs at a constant 30 frames per second.
But here's the
none of that.
Yo, people want to see the stream, yeah. and you know us, man. We're YouTube personalities. I know you stream on Mixer as well. So that being said, in my case, I probably won't ever do that, man. I would say probably 80% of the time that I played that game, I was streaming, whether it was with snaps or going kind of solo or stuff like that. But to me, a lot of people are complaining about this game, right, King? Have you seen it on Twitter and everything like that? There's people really kind of bitching about
Tiki torches.
Do you think that?
That's what I call them. I call them the tiki torches.
Tiki torches. Now, why? Because they're getting the pitchforks. Tiki torch. Oh.
Yeah, they out there. They're trying. Yeah, they out there. They're trying to kill Frankenstein. And I'm personally, it's a preview game. So why are you crying? They're working on it. Just relax.
So all right,
have fun.
So with the hate
or don't buy.
With the hate out there, you don't feel like it's relevant because it's a game preview game, right?
Yep.
All right, I got you, man. I got you.
It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. There is not a retail version of the game. It's not out definitively. There's no we have to patch it. No, we are patching it while you play. It has a disclaimer before you log in. It has a disclaimer after you log in. It has a disclaimer before the game launches. So you got 3 disclaimers. If you don't read or you can't read, then obviously that's the issue and it's not the game. You just can't read.
Good point. Good point, man. Yo, Salty, have you gotten into PUBG, man?
Man, to say I got into PUBG would be an understatement. I've been rolling in that. I've been going hard in that game since it launched. Like I said before, I have the fatty Xbox from 2013 representing the 900p box. So if anybody's going to talk about bad performance, it would be me, right? I still have tons of fun on that game. It does have performance issues, but I've talked to a lot of people on Twitter about the game, especially when I mentioned that it sold 1 million copies in 48 hours. A lot of people are like, "Oh,
48 hours. That's insane right there, man."
Yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, it was a given. You know, it was a given. It was popular on PC, so you know it's going to do well on console." It's like, nah, that's not necessarily true. You know, no one could have predicted these kind of numbers on console.
Yeah,
I can't remember the last time, you know, a game had this kind of, you know, movement in this short amount of time.
Hype, and people are actually buying it. And like when you talk about popular games from PC going to console, we could go back to when Counter-Strike went onto the 360, and I can pretty much guarantee you nowhere near 1 million in 48 hours were sold on that game, and that was back on the 360. It had a bigger install base and stuff like that. So whoever's saying that it was a guarantee just because it's popular on PC right now, don't really know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, that's just, it doesn't translate over sometimes, you know. PC audience doesn't translate over to console. So this kind of movement is interesting to me because the way that Microsoft has been treating this game. They've been marketing it. They sent their engineers over to Bluehole Studios since they announced it at E3.
They sent that
they sent some
Black Ops game development squad, man, that we keep hearing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got to give Microsoft props for having, you know, the foresight to get this game going. A lot of people like to complain, but they had like basically 6 months to get this game out. You know, they had a deadline. They wanted to get it out before 2018, and they stuck to that deadline. You know, it's a preview game. It's rough around the edges, but it's going to get better. You know, it's going to get more polish. It's going to get patches. It's going to get more content. The new map, the desert map. You know, this is a phenomenon, people. It's like a train rolling down the hill. You know,
keeps gaining
can't
speed,
stop.
Man.
Yeah, and I made another prediction a while back. And some people are scared to make predictions on YouTube because they might get called out by the trolls. But I say, you know, I don't give a shit. That's why I'm on YouTube. I have opinions. I like to get people salty, you know. I said that PUBG is going to be staying on Xbox, and that's where it's going to stay. It's not going to PlayStation. The way they've been treating this game, the way they've been marketing it, the way Aaron Greenberg's been talking about it, it's not going to PlayStation. So you guys can keep your dreams alive. But it's staying here, and you can. I'll eat crow if it goes to PlayStation.
Oh man, yo, I have a feeling you're gonna be eating crow, and I'm gonna be the one serving the platter to you, just because, man. I cannot agree with you on that. I feel like what Xbox is doing, man, like they're gaining momentum in a positive way, like as catering kind of like to the gamer and all that good stuff. You see that with all the feedback programs they're doing and stuff like that. I have a feeling that over time, PUBG will end up on the PS4, but if you look at like the progress of other game preview games, look at a game like Ark, which when it first came to game preview, ran a hell of a lot worse than what PUBG is running right now, and it eventually went to PS4 as well. But they waited 2 years for it?
No, but that game wasn't marketed by Xbox. It wasn't
not at all
by them. It wasn't in stores with console exclusive plastered all over it. They didn't send engineers over to the studio. The writing's on the wall, and people, it's a safe thing to say, hey, it's staying. You know, it's going to go to PlayStation.
I think
you know?
Microsoft is going to distribute the game, and if they have distribution on the game won't cross over to PlayStation at all. So
I don't know. These kind of numbers that it's doing, and the fact that, you know, they're saying console exclusive now. They're not saying, you know, launch exclusive, and the wording's different. The numbers that it's moving on the Xbox system, it just, I don't know. It's like I said, it's easier to go the other route and say, you know, eventually it's going to go over to PlayStation. But you know, like I said, that's what I'm on YouTube for.
I eat that crow plate with you. Man, you can
I
slide
mean,
off on that
I'm
plate.
gonna serve a double
I roll
platter
with
for
you.
both you guys.
Yeah,
Salty.
put a biscuit with mine though.
hey,
Gravy.
you know what I say? You know, the people that make these highlight reels and sizzle reels of you, yeah, quote unquote, being a fraud or making wrong predictions, it's like, well, that's free advertisement. So thank you, you know?
Oh, dude, I've been wrong before.
Yeah.
When it came to the Xbox One, I said that they were going to use the Ryzen CPU. I mean, I thought there was no way in hell that they were going to use Jaguar cores and give everybody exactly what they said, you know, the system was going to do and stuff. And, you know, I mean, to this day, like, you know, going back, I would have said the same thing because, like, what they did with the physical DirectX 12 on the system itself, that's stuff we've never seen before. So, I mean, like, if you take away all the prototype stuff that they did with the hardware, it was kind of like a no-brainer that they were going to go with something like that. But, you know, you make a prediction. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Nobody's right 100% of the time, man. But when you get like a 80-90% clip, man, you could really start rubbing it in people's faces. Anyway, yo, Salty, when it comes to PUBG, yo, give us some of the stuff that you like and some of the stuff that like kind of caught your eye that you didn't like about the game so far, man.
Okay. All right. So the things that I don't like, the controller scheme's kind of wonky a little bit. I feel like, you know, since this, you know, Blue Hole hasn't really done this before, you know, they're going to make adjustments, but you know, it took a while for me to get the controller scheme down, you know, aiming down sights, because you have first person and third person as a possibility. So, you know, like if you want to aim down sights in the first person, you got to like tap left trigger. And if you want to aim down sights with the third person, you got to like hold it down. And then if you want to reload, you got to like hold X down instead of tapping it. So there's
one of my biggest complaints, holding X down, because when you're in the heat of battle and you got to reload, dude, that takes way too much time, man. Tap that X button, dude. I'm with you on that. What else, man?
Yeah, that's one of the main things. You know, the frame rate situation will get resolved, but I don't know. There's sometimes when you're in gun battles, they feel like the hit detection's a little bit off. So I feel like they can improve that as well. I'm trying to think, man. I have so much fun with this game. It's kind of, you know, a lot of people make the argument. It's like, well, what's more important for games? You know, like power or the actual game. And like honestly, it's the game. I mean, I'm having a blast with this, and it still has its issues. You know, I'm addicted to it.
Salty, I asked you that question for a reason. I like to lead people into stuff a lot when it comes to the live show, and you gave us like the negatives, right? And you're talking like frame rate, different like control schemes, stuff like that. And it's funny because on a normal kind of like everyday basis, you would, after saying stuff like that about a game, you'd be like, I'm not picking it up anymore. You know, I'm not playing it. Even I'll wait a while until they have a couple patches thrown in there. So, and then you go back and you say like how much fun it is. So when it comes to the positive on this game, and do you have a long list, or is it pretty much just that one thing about how fun it is, dude?
I just like how, I don't know. Because I know I play on Xbox because you know, you get to meet people in the community. And even not in the community, you meet people and you play with them. PUBG, I've been playing with people that I've never played with. We've been squatting up. I've, you know, find them on my friends list. I'll shoot them out an invite. I'll talk about it on Twitter. And then you get to roll in a squad, you know. But it's just, you're able to. It's just the experience is not like something I've had before. I tried Fortnite out and I didn't like it, you know.
Yeah, it's too candy corn.
Yeah, it just felt too something. I don't know.
There's still a lot of people playing Fortnite, but let's go ahead and move on down the list. Yo, K Mega, have you played PUBG, man? And what do you think about it if you have?
Yeah, I have. I've only played a couple of games, but the games that I've played, it's addictive. I'm itching to play some tonight and finally play with a full crew, because I've only played with one other person for the couple of times that I played it. And man, just getting into the intensity. I mean, because when you and another person that's not on your team or whatever, it's running into a house looking for supplies. it's going down right then. Like that's crazy. Like I beat somebody down with my hands. That was really wild. So like it's intense. And then like the one thing that's crazy is that when you're trying to communicate with somebody and then that person really doesn't listen and you get hit by a car. And then you're hurt, and then they're telling you that they're going to leave you if you can't get healthy enough to get in the car. I'm like, wait a minute, you hit me, and then it's really fun. I really want.
They can go over and heal you though. They can come over and they put their hand on you, like they just got to tap X. If you're crawling on the ground, like they put their hand over.
Well, they put their hand over me, and then they gave me a supply, a health supply, but I couldn't receive it for some reason. I don't know why, but I was trying to figure it out. And at that point, it was Lady Infamous that I was playing with, and she was like, "Look, I'll leave your ass." I said, "You hit me with a car."
Right? Yeah.
Then she stopped. She says, "All right, let me try to see what's the problem." And then by that time, I just got domed. Somebody shot me, and then she tried to run off, and it was too late, and she got double teamed, and then she cussed me out. So it was how that was. But it's a very fun game, even with the problems that they have, and with the problems that the game has. And I could see when this game gets everything that's it's supposed to get, and even the extra map and all of that, by the time that this game is going to be fully made and done, man, the sky's the limit. I mean, Xbox has got to keep this game. I think I'm going to side with our guests tonight. I think that this got to be an exclusive, man. This definitely has to be an exclusive. So yeah, man, give me another biscuit and some gravy to throw on that crow if we are wrong.
Right. Give my man a biscuit.
That platter getting big, man. That platter getting big.
Yeah.
Mega, what
well, it'll be a buffet.
Yeah, we're gonna be eating good, man.
Well, Mega, what do you think
That's right.
What do you think about the people that are hitting like social media and really kind of dogging on the game right now in terms of like the biggest thing I guess is frame rate. The next biggest thing is they're talking about the look of the game, which I'm pretty sure most of the people that are talking about the look of the game own Grand Theft Auto 5. So I don't really know how they are bugging on the look of the game. But what are your opinions on like this wave of negativity? Do you think it's validated? Do you think like it should be like that? How do you think like the issues should be approached by like the gamers and stuff, man?
For the people that's bought the game already, they're the ones that will be the ones to dictate how the game, where the game needs to go. For the people out there that's complaining, they're just hating. I mean, they're being ridiculous. I mean, the game is $30. But then yet I didn't hear all of this outcry or uproar when Street Fighter V first came out, incomplete, or when No Man's Sky was broken, or when any other game that's been out there in existence on any platform come out and be messed up, and you just dog it out. This game won the game of the year, or the shooter of the year, for a reason. This game has sold over 20 million PC fans. There's 120 million PC fans over just because. And this game was in a previews program on PC as well. There were people that had as detractors, but people got over and said, "Look, this is a previews program. This game is in the beta stages. They let you know this." And that's when they tell you this and they give you the option if you want to buy it or not. What the hell are you bitching for? You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. So,
K-Mega,
what up, bro?
K-Mega, those two games that you've mentioned, No Man's Sky, you mentioned Street Fighter, right? Those games are exclusive to the PlayStation platform, right?
Absolutely.
Well, in the community, PlayStation can do no wrong. So, anything that Xbox does, they're going to give extra tiki torches our way. But when PlayStation does the same exact thing, if not more egregious, with retail copies of games that people have purchased that are not in a preview program, they don't get burned to the floor. We get burned to the floor. We're giving you a disclaimer before you purchase the game. Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Yeah. And the fact that with those games that I mentioned is that you're paying for season passes, DLC, and full retail price. So you know, with this, it's just a flat fee of $30. The people that are going to go through the pains of, you know, frame rate issues, you know, all the other issues that the game has, they're going to pay that $30 and they'll reap the rewards when the game is complete. For the people that are on the fence and saying, I'd rather wait till the game is complete, well, then you'll pay the full retail price. You know what I'm saying? You have an option. So I don't understand what the complaint is. I guarantee you, if this game was on the PlayStation, or just PlayStation and PC, we wouldn't hear this. I mean, it'd be the second coming. Yeah, it'd be the second coming, and Xbox fans and there'll be Xbox fans that would be salty about it, and they would go and say that. But I would hope that we're smarter enough to tell people to, like, look, pump your brakes, man, because look, this is not like, you know, the other games that they paid full price for. So you know, it's ignorance. That's all it is in a nutshell.
Oh, I got you, guys. Let's move on down the panel. Let's get the Otter himself, Mr. Dark Otter. You have the spotlight, sir. So why don't you let people know? First off, did you play PUBG? What do you think about it? You know, the goods, bads, and indifferent, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I got to give a huge shout out to Remix Essence. I game share with him, so he picked it up. And dude, I've been having a blast with this game.
All right, man, go ahead. You go get that live wire treatment, bro. This is it. You're on out.
No, you know, lose my train of thought, motherfucker. Goddamn.
PUBG, man. PUBG.
PUBG. You know, I've been playing it, man. You know, it's like people saying, you know, it's way better with a squad. You know, like I played it on PC here and there when I could. PC, I had a lot of fun on PC, but I can't do the mouse and keyboard shit, man. I have to actually have a controller in my hand and be able to play with that. And this is perfect for, you know, Xbox people too, because, you know, get that you know, that PC feel, but with the controller.
Until they do mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, until they do that, but for me, you know, I've just never been a keyboard mouse kind of guy. I've just been always, you know, controller. I mean, for the most part, I haven't had too many problems, man. I have it on the X, you know, I have the X, so, you know, it hasn't been running too bad for me. I mean, I've had some, you know, a few frame rate drops. I've had, you know, I've had some lag here and there, but I think that mostly is like the, you know, internet and stuff like that. I haven't really seen too much that I'm like, oh my god, you know, this is unplayable. Like some people have been saying, you know, this game is unplayable and stuff. I'm like, dude, like, what are you expecting? You know, are you expecting it to be like full fledged, you know, $60 game? No, you're paying what, $30 for the game. It's not complete yet. Of course not, you know, because it's in game preview. How many games are in game preview that cost you $30? Pretty much all of them. So it's like, well, you know, this is probably one of the best game preview games that have come out to date. It is one of the better running.
And Dark, I'm glad you brought that up, because like I've gone in, I bought a bunch of games preview, right? I would even go as far as to say there was a game called Elite Dangerous, which has a thriving community now. Like people love that game, right? And it runs, from what I hear, it runs really good now. It was officially released, but to at least some aspect, Elite Dangerous, when it first came to game preview, ran like shit as well. Like it ran worse than what PUBG is doing right now.
And that's the thing. Like that, you know, even Predator said it before the podcast, I think, and he said that it's a PC build. It's a early PC build. It's not, you know, and of course, you know, the hurdling over, you know, fences and stuff like that. They added that into it just to make it, you know, so that people can do that, because people on console probably would have been complaining about that if they didn't have that in the game.
Yeah, I would have been mad. I do that all the time.
For the most part, I mean, I've been enjoying it, man. It's just been a lot of fun. You know, I've just had a blast, you know, playing with you guys. I play with you and Mel, and then I play with Mooch and Nukem and stuff like that. And dude, we've just been having so much fun playing back and forth and stuff. And I mean, the only thing I could say that probably the game is the fact that that I guess I was expecting graphics wise it was going to be a little bit better on console because of the fact that when you play it on PC, a lot of people play it at low settings, so then they can get the better frame rates and stuff. And I still feel like I'm kind of playing at lower settings than I would have been on PC or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's the only thing that kind of bothers me a little bit. But I mean, if it gets a patch, here and there, I think it'll be fine. And I have to say also, I just remembered that the aiming, like when you're trying to hit somebody, sometimes I feel like I'm hitting them, but I'm actually not because I don't see like the blood splattering and stuff like that.
The melee is rough, man. Yeah, you don't know if you're hitting the dude or not.
Yeah, it's pretty rough there, but I think once they patch it in, probably maybe in a couple weeks or something like that, they'll patch that stuff up and it'll be a good running game,
Now,
and people that have said, oh, I'm getting my money back. Don't do it, man. Just wait. Just wait a little bit. Give them a couple weeks.
If they want to, let them do it. But
yeah, I know. But I mean, like, you're gonna be missing out on a lot of fun there. If you do that.
Now, Dark, I got a question for you because you've also seen like on social media and stuff, kind of like people really digging in on the frame rates, the visuals, all that good stuff on this game. Now, I know within the first 2 days, right, it sold a ton, and you got to remember. Even to a certain extent, a lot of diehard Xbox people were automatically buying it. Like it could have been just a game that showed you can take a camera and swing it around a pile of shit. But it was Xbox exclusive, and they were buying it, right? Now, so within the first 48 hours, he got over 1 million copies. Do you think that if the negative stigma keeps up with this game, do you think it's going to have an effect on how good it does in the long run in terms of selling and people playing and the devs supporting it and all that good stuff?
I gotta kind of have to take a little playbook out of my buddy Dave Unscarred on Xbox Live. He kind of brought something to my attention that maybe in February when Far Cry 5 comes out and games that are like that come out, we're console gamers. We like to play everything. We like to play anything and everything. We're not PC gamers where they just stick to one thing and just play that for years,
Counter-Strike.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Counter-Strike, things like that. It's just, I don't know if this game's going to have the longevity that it does on PC, that it will on console. I mean, I'm sure there will be still people playing it a lot on console, but I think as us hardcore gamers, we're gonna move on. We're gonna play something else, things like that. As for it going to another console, I honestly can't see it going to PlayStation.
Nobody asked you that, man. Why you?
Well, I know, but I know people have been chiming in about that.
Go ahead.
He want his biscuit too. Let that man have his biscuit.
I just want to give my 2 cents, man.
Give him his big ass biscuit, man.
Come on, man. Let him get his biscuit.
Yeah, man. Let me get my biscuit. Shit. And I just think if it does go to PlayStation, it's not gonna. It's really not gonna even matter at that point because it's it'll be like Tomb Raider. It won't sell well. It'll just be another
just another little notch.
Yeah, just another title. That's all it'll be if it does do that.
And let me if I can interject right fast. I just wanted to say. Oh, I can't?
No, just playing, man. You were late, man.
I was.
He want gravy on his biscuit, too. Now let him get some gravy.
Let me get a little gravy. Hopefully I got some beef or some sausage in that gravy. I mean,
no, man, you don't get no beef or sausage, bro. We're late.
Hey, no, just gravy. Just gravy.
Oh, come on, man. We got to have some meat chunks up in anyway. Okay, all right. I'm getting hungry now.
You're making me hungry.
I know. I'm getting hungry. I was like, okay, this show needs to wrap up. No, I just wanted to interject to say this. The game could still have legs if Xbox add, or I would say Bluehole would add more to the game. I mean, I think it's just kind of like Halo 5. We go away from Halo 5 for a little while, then we hear about some new content, or we hear about something that's important to us, and then we jump back on it. That's the same thing that will happen because as long as you we'll keep on having those extra outfits, extra maps, weapons, different character variations, things of that nature. That game could still have a longevity, even competing against the other games that might even try to steal or implement, kind of like what Fortnite did, or I call it Fortnite. Kind of steal that, try to steal what PUBG has done. So this game can still have legs for years to come, as long as Xbox, if it's an exclusive, if Xbox still holds on to the property and push it forward. I think the sky's the limit for this game.
Mega, we're going to touch on this, after we get, because Predator, he has had extensive experience on PUBG on PC and on Xbox, but we're going to touch in on that longevity thing, because I'm going to kind of agree with you on that in terms of longevity. If you want to increase the longevity, this game should definitely be exclusive to Xbox, and we're going to kind of get in on that after Pred comes in, kind of like with his scholarly glasses on and his kind of leather patched suit jacket, coming in as coming from Harvard of PUBG right now. Hitting that pipe with the bubbles coming out, man. Can you picture that? Anybody?
Oh, wow.
I hope I painted a picture here, but
yeah, you did. I'm like, wow.
But Pred, I know you are no stranger to PUBG. You've been playing it on PC. You're now playing it on Xbox, man. So I really, really want to hear kind of like your thoughts, even in comparison, because the game's been on PC for a while, so they've been able to patch that. The transition over to console, people think it's going to be automatically that easy because the console is so similar in architecture, but I don't believe that's true. I believe there's a lot of optimization that needs to go on and stuff like that. But what do you think, man, about PUBG on Xbox One and kind of like all the negativity that's going on as well?
Well, first off, it was a great pickup for them to get it on the console. I'll eat crow for saying this later, but I think it will be an exclusive. I think they're marketing it as an exclusive, and it's going to stay on the Xbox console, especially after the sales that it's done over the past 2 days.
By myself here, and by the way,
give that man a chicken dinner, baby.
By the way, fans in the chat said you're also wearing a fez, by the way, as well. So keep going, man.
So yeah, I mean, obviously there's a difference. You're coming from PC to coming to Xbox, and as you see my gameplay now, I'm playing a totally different map than what is on Xbox right now. But we're playing an early build right now. We're not getting the weather effects. We're not getting like all the drops and stuff that we normally get in the building. So like it's a preview program game. So just be patient. It's gonna get better. You don't give everybody the steak dinner in the beginning. Like you gotta ease them into it. You gotta give them the appetizer first. And right now, the appetizer is sufficing for us that are playing on Xbox right now. We're playing the fuck out of it. That's what everyone I've talked to and all the people I game with have been talking about this game. So for a game that just came out like last week or earlier this last week, so. And for it to sell as many copies as it has, you can obviously see it's a phenomenon. I mean, that's why there's so much hate on it from the other console gamers right now, because they want it on their console. So, all those people that wanted it on their console that claim to have PCs, they should have already been playing this game. B, all the people out there who want it on their console can just go buy an Xbox One X and get it on that. So deal with it.
Donnie D, like you said last night, right?
Yeah, it's like. They say, I don't want to get an Xbox One X because I can't justify buying it for the exclusives that are on there. Well, here's a game that you want to play, and I tweeted this out earlier. Like, when I see a game on a console, like I wanted to play God of War. I wanted to play Mario. I wanted to play those exclusives on those consoles. What I did is I went out and I bought the fucking console. So instead of being a hater of a specific console, be a gamer. And just go buy the game on the system that you want and buy the system. Like that's the only way you're gonna play this game right now, unless you want to go spend, $2,000 on a fucking gaming PC to get this game to run at fucking 60 frames per second. So deal with it. So as it is right now, the game is amazing. It's selling very well on Xbox. Obviously, there's some differences in the PC version. There are some frame rate issues in the game. There are things that they're gonna fix though. So be patient out there, you guys that are wanting this game. It's gonna get better. It's gonna be a slow build in the beginning. It's a preview program for a reason. They want to make sure that it works. And I think this first part of it was just to make sure the servers are working right now. So once the servers are set up, they get that shit down packed, you'll start seeing all the other elements into the
that
game,
big
like
word,
the weather
and
effects and stuff.
big O word. I'm not talking Oprah either. It's optimization, man. After that, they're gonna start really going in and kind of honing it in on the console itself, right, man?
Yeah, and think about it this way: like Xbox, Microsoft in general, they wanted this game out before the end of the year on the Xbox console. So it might have been rushed. I will say that. I think they might have rushed it out a little bit. I think if they could have waited till like January, February, March timeframe to drop this, they would have. But they had nothing coming this holiday. They had nothing to sell their system right now this holiday because Crackdown didn't come out like they expected it to. So they had to have something out there. And what better thing to do to put out a game that's selling amazingly on PC to bring it to their console. So even though it looks like trash right now, and like the frame rates are kind of shitty right now, it's still a fun game.
You can't really say kinda on that.
Right.
Like I don't mind the aesthetics, man. I really don't mind the graphics at all because like I played GTA 5 on the 360 for a long time. Like when that game first launched, all the way to the end of that generation, that was like my main game back then. So aesthetically, that doesn't bother me, man. Frame rate wise, I have an issue with that. I play through it. I play through it because I do know it's going to get better. You know, you let Bluehole know, you know, what's going on when the frames drop for you, whether it's in combat or... But I've heard people complaining about the lobby, man. The fucking lobby.
Oh, yeah.
The frame rate's terrible in the lobby. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Didn't Aaron Greenberg just state that being that the game sold so successfully that anybody who purchases an X from the 16th to the 29th gets that game for free?
Yeah, I wanted to touch upon that. Red Dragon on Twitter was knocking on Xbox, and it's not a new thing because he's been doing it. He was like, "Oh, like why would you want to put PUBG in there with your Xbox One X when it's running like trash and it's the first thing people are gonna see? Blah blah blah." And it's like, bro, come on, man, you're reaching for straws there. They're trying to do, give this game for free because it's hot right now. It just bugged me, man. I mean, it's. What do you guys think
I got
about
a thing with that guy. They call me the excess gamer. I call him the cheapest gamer on live. All right. So he does anything to save $1. He does anything to save $1. So he will talk you out of getting an X and make sure that you get a fat Xbox. So that guy is not the guy that you listen to when you want to talk about a premium experience. Trust me, if you want to play PUBG, you play it on an Xbox One X. All right. If you want to broadcast, you broadcast. If you want the frame rate, you take the broadcasting off. You will get 30 frames locked. All right. That guy, don't listen to that guy if you want a nice experience. If you want a cheap experience, that's the guy to go to. He'll tell you what Kmart or whatever has the games on sale. All right.
Kmart,
Let me say this too. Like everyone's like hyping about that. Like they came on. I could have got this on. I could have got this for free a couple of days ago. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Listen, I got $20 from Xbox the other day. Like last month. Like $5 here, $15 there, another $5 for some other shit. Like it's $30, man. Are you that fucking broke? I spend that on fucking wine this weekend. Like it's $30.
Oh shit! Tell
what
him.
the fuck are you complaining about? Fucking $30 fucking dollars.
Friend was gonna come hard like that tonight.
Like some fucking it's damn near free. Like it's $30, man. If you complain about $30 fucking dollars, you go reevaluate your fucking situation, your fucking financial life. It's $30.
Well, especially if they spend like $60 on a game that's practically trash half the time anyway. So it's like just $30.
And the thing is, here's the catch: you can refund it. You can get it digitally and just get online if you don't like it and say, "Hey, Xbox, this game fucking sucks." I've never had a problem getting money back on a game. Matter of fact, fucking full disclosure here: I bought Neo a couple of weeks ago. I saw my gameplay footage earlier, right?
Right, I've seen the game. Yeah.
I played it on my PC. I didn't like it. You know what I did? I fucking returned it. I said, "Hey, this game sucks to me. I don't like it, and let me have my fucking money back." No problem. You know what?
That
Came back in my account.
That was
$30.
Yeah, but if you would have gotten a PlayStation, guess what? You wouldn't have gotten. You wouldn't have
got
gotten.
nothing.
You
No.
went
out of luck there, brother.
You would have got banned, man.
No, sir.
I'm not one of these gamers that hypes up bullshit and I've been going with it all week with these motherfuckers on Twitter. Just follow my channel, dude. I've been going with some motherfuckers all goddamn week about this game. So like I'm not one of those gamers that's gonna sit here and hype up some shit or talk about some shit that I ain't fucking playing, right? Like I play everything. So I went out and I got this game. I wanted to play Neo because it comes from the people who
Pinata, man. What's going on? You don't play Viva
What's that?
Pinata. You don't play Viva Pinata. You say you play everything, man.
No, I don't play Viva Pinata. I play on every system. Let me put it that way.
Right.
I got it, but I ain't played it.
But like I'll go out and I'll pick up games that I want to play, and if I'm not happy with them, I'll fucking voice my fucking opinion. But like some people out there, like they just are hell bent on not buying this game. Even though they know it's fun, it's got to be fun because there's too many motherfuckers playing it right now, right? Too many.
Yeah.
Right?
But
they'd rather not buy it on the Xbox. They're trying to wait to hope it comes to their PlayStation. Like, just go buy the game. You got some people actually have a fucking Xbox right now and will not go get this game on Xbox.
Well, and that's the thing right there. That what you said, Pred, is the thing that I think we're all addressing the bot is that Microsoft has to know that this game has a lot of potential, and there has not been too many games that have sold over 1 million in 48 hours. I mean, that's a phenomenon on a console. That's a phenomenon. That's the real deal, Jack. So what you
and it's gonna sell more. Wait till the end of Christmas, dude. Wait till after Christmas hits and the kids get their fucking boxes open up. Get somebody, that's just gonna shoot over 2 million. I think it'll do 2 million before the end of the year.
Well, if it hits that, then I think Microsoft really has no choice but to go ahead and try to make the best negotiations that they can,
the devs got
try to make this game.
Remember that?
Well, no, I said or try to make this into something to where they turn this into the next Minecraft,
Gears of War.
You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, Gears of War. Look, this right now in the space that we're in gaming, there, people are they change the narrative every damn year, it seems like. But right now, the narrative is exclusives. And since Xbox is in this position to where people think that they don't have any exclusives, even though Xbox lineup at the end of the year was a lot better than PlayStation's, it's still, the narrative is theirs that Xbox doesn't have that type of game to captivate. And PlayStation has no game that has sold that well, that fast. No game.
Who's laughing about that? Yeah.
The reason why I'm laughing is because he's been dropping science ever since anybody has been listening. All right, everything that he has said, he has dropped science, and I've just been dissecting his words. Right, so I can come behind and I can give a little bit of that. Right, so you say these games that they launched like Zero Horizon Dawn and Neo and all. Yeah, because it's a zero. It's a zero and the Horizon at Dawn, whatever. It's crap, right? The Zelda clone.
It's supposed to be
these games.
Remember?
Yeah, well, it got killed by Zelda, didn't it?
Exactly. Got murdered.
Didn't it?
In the body bag. Yeah, didn't win anything.
All right.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Nothing. My question is this, right? They sell 70 million, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm a numbers guy. My businesses are around dollar signs, right? Okay. If I have 70 million of subscribers, because you have 70 million consoles there, so you have 70 million subscribers, right? These people are your base. Now, if you put out one game and it can't sell 0.1% of that 70 million, something is fundamentally wrong or somebody's lying. One of the two, right? So you say Microsoft has, what we're at, 38 million, 40 million?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have 40 million. 1 million of us purchased that game. Word of mouth will have that game at 5 million by March. Right. No game on the PlayStation is at 5 million. Why is that? No game sold 1 million overnight either. Why is that? PlayStation owners don't buy games.
For Redbox, man.
It's not only that.
The Xbox deacons, man.
I'm just saying, like, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And they are lying about something fundamentally. Something's going on.
Here's the thing that they have more of the casual market than Xbox has at period. Those people only buy like Call of Duty or Madden every year.
Right.
That's all they buy. They don't buy nothing else. They don't care about nothing else. They don't care about the exclusives. They mostly just see that as like, oh well, PlayStation's selling. Well, I'm just gonna go get a PlayStation. They don't look into this stuff like we do, and that's why a lot of these games aren't selling the way that they should. Like Horizon Zero Dawn only sold like how many, like 2 million or 3 million, something like that. Like that's not enough. That's not enough to. Yeah, it's not enough to say that the game was successful. Like the game was not successful because you have a player base that is like 60 to 70 million people that own that console. It's mostly like it's a casual console. It's not a hardcore console. That's why.
So you said it's a strong Wii. That's what you're telling me.
Right, exactly. It's the Wii of the generation. It's the Wii of this generation. It's absolutely true.
Yo, guys, check this out. I want to bring this back to PUBG, and I actually want to bring this back more to the new genre of battle royale, because we're talking about PUBG and stuff. And Epic Games, which is a bigger developer, got into the mix offering a free mode on Fortnite. We know that Ubisoft is going to get into the mix with Ghost Recon and offering another similar kind of like mode and stuff like that. And I believe it was Predator in our DM. He showed that the developers for a game called The Culling, which is, it's another battle royale game. They basically stopped development on that game. And I believe one of the statements were that the battle royale genre is about to get like very crowded, and they were already moving over to the next their next project and stuff, which to me is kind of wrong for people who did pick up that game.
Yeah, The Culling is trash, man. Oh my god,
I hate that game is so bad, dude.
K-Mega talked about longevity, so I'm gonna bring it to him first, and then we can spread it across the panel here. When it comes to long term, with PUBG, now PUBG indie developer Bluehole, once these bigger developers and these bigger publishers, and you see that they're doing this, they're getting into this battle royale genre, and they're more, I guess you could say, solidified in the game development process, to where when they do these games, they're going to be better frame rates. There's going to be points in time where aesthetically they are more pleasing, they are better looking and stuff like that. So with this genre getting so popular, do these indie developers like Bluehole and the developer for The Culling, which they just stopped making the game, they're like, fuck this, we're out of here, next project, do you think like these bigger developers and publishers are gonna kind of come in and take over this genre, kind of like killing the longevity of these games made by the indie developers like Bluehole, man? Mega, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, last night on GRG, there was some hints of that there was going to be maybe like people that what is the game? The big Grand Theft Auto 5, or maybe the new Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption might try to implement what's going on with.
Dude, it's a flavor of the year right now.
Yeah, it's the new flavor. Yeah, so that would cause some issues. But this is the thing that Microsoft, this is what thing the Bluehole can do that could save PUBG, is to allow Microsoft to make this game an exclusive, for one, and to also implement things from other games that still have longevity. Case in point, look at Rainbow Six Siege. Season 3, this game is still going strong. There's more people buying this game now than they did the day that it came out. Also, all you have to do is just keep adding new different things. Like, for instance, let's just say that you wanted to, this is hypothetical, but just say like you wanted to have the the Marcus Phoenix package or something. You see what I'm saying? To where that you could have some Gears gear, or some iconic.
Imagine if they
Xbox,
put like exclusive Xbox gear like scattered
content
throughout the map. That'd be
right.
crazy.
Well, or like drops or something like that. Just to add a little flavor to the game. Not something that's over the top to make the game look like Halo or some crazy shit. But I'm just saying the fact of just gear wise. Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm saying you want this game to keep roots, because if there's one thing that I will say about PUBG is that it's gone back to the roots of what gaming is all about. The graphics was the biggest narrative in this generation, and 1080p and resolution and all that. People have forgotten about the fun factor. People rather see something pretty than actually play something that's fun. PUBG gives you something that is fun, and it's going to get better while it goes on. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of strategy, but of course they need that financial backing. That's the reason why I think all of us here thinks that it's going to be an exclusive, because Microsoft has the capital to make that game work. And with their innovation, they can make this game go further and be better than it's ever been with Microsoft's backing.
Mega, when it comes to like the this game being exclusive to Xbox, I don't necessarily think it's gonna happen. But in this instance, I agree with you 110%. Like, if you want to solidify the longevity of this game, and you know that the bigger developers and the bigger publishers, they are drooling at the mouth right now. They see what's going on with this indie developer, and they're like, damn, we have certified developers that have been in here for years, that have built so many games and stuff like that. We're not gonna put something out there, with frame rate issues and stuff like that. It's gonna come out a lot more solid and stuff. They are foaming at the mouth. They are ready to get into this mode right now, because this is what everybody is talking about, man. And I feel like if you wanna ensure the longevity of PUBG, the best way to do that right now is to make it exclusive to Xbox, man. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Make it a partner. I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, look, just think about this. If it does go to PlayStation, the one problem there is that PlayStation fans, that once the next hotness comes, they're going to drop it like hotcakes. That game is only going to be as cool for as long as that game is popular to the masses in the media.
I mean, they all bought Lawbreakers, right? They were excited about that.
No, you know what I'm saying?
No. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to say that. I
need to bring up my no.
How you say that?
Yo, King, you know me too well, man, and it hasn't been that long. Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Let me just say this last point, and it's funny to me because I posted this on Twitter today because there was a lot of PlayStation fans that was just saying some wild shit. I said, look, it's funny to me because when you guys always talk about the mighty exclusives, the greatness of what the PlayStation has brought and offered, you also have to really thank Xbox fans, because mostly Xbox fans are the ones that buy their games. They really actually own them. They don't rent them. They actually buy multiple consoles. So we help with the purchases of those games on the PS4. And I said, and while you guys are on Twitter and on social media all damn day talking, a lot of us is over here gaming, streaming, doing something else, showing gameplay, doing something that you guys aren't doing, but yet you tout these games, these lists of games, and you bastards don't even show your appreciation to these companies that's busting their ass and making these games by purchasing them. And that's the thing right there that bothers me more than anything, is that, look, you can talk about the exclusives, but show your worth. Show me why you appreciate the game. They'd rather talk about numbers and analytics and Metacritic scores than actually talking about what is essential to gamers, and that is the gaming itself.
Yo, bro, with the people, because, man, we came up on those Facebook streets back in the day, man. We've been dealing with that for years, though. Like, they've been talking all this shit, and then when it comes down to it, we're the ones that are sharing our gameplay, putting up screenshots and stuff like that, and they're over there just on their keyboard like it's a machine gun, like that, trying to fire at us for whatever reason. But yo, let's move down the panel here real quick. I do want to hear from Salty in terms of like these bigger devs and these bigger publishers, coming in, and they're like, man, they're really, you can tell they're setting up that just about every one of their games is going to have a battle royale mode. So with that being said, Salty, Bluehole, indie developer, came across, and yes, in the chat, I think it was Black Rider. They might be worth $7 billion right now, but that was like overnight, dude. Come on, man. All of a sudden, their pockets just got.
I responded to him. They're a small team, man. I don't know if you guys realize this, but they were in over their heads, man. It was tough for them to get these patches out to the PC audience, man. The PC audience was getting frustrated because they weren't getting the patches out fast enough. This game's exploded. They couldn't expect or anticipate this kind of traction on their game. This is like record breaking. It's trend setting. Do we know if this genre is going to be lasting, years and years to come? No one can predict that, but it's interesting to look inside there because, Microsoft just kind of snuck in there and said, hey, how about we come and help you guys out, let's get this on the console. So they, sent their engineers over there. They're forming this relationship. Brendan Green, the owner there, he has a good relationship with Microsoft. He kind of, like, with some of his comments about, protecting the genre from all these copycats, I feel like he's kind of worried about the genre, to be honest. He sees that a lot of these copycats are on their way in, and they need, the backing of a big company to help them out to kind of keep this train rolling, So I don't know, man. I feel like they're doing it right, and I think there's going to be a lot of copycats, but I think PUBG is doing it the right way, and if they keep putting out content, they'll be able to, keep the train rolling. So.
All right, cool. Yo, King, what do you think, man, in terms of the longevity of games like PUBG with these bigger developers coming in? Do you see these developers coming in and possibly like strangling out the indies and killing those games in terms of longevity and active player base and stuff like that, with like Ubisoft and them coming in on this?
All right. I think you guys are missing the narrative of what's going on. If you look at my avatar on Xbox, you see I'm standing there with Phil Spencer having some mimosas.
I knew that was a mimosa, man.
Yeah. I put Phil on the mimosas, and he was like, "Ooh, it's popping over here." I have to say this, right? Phil is a big PC guy. If you look at his shirts, you look at everything that goes on, he lets you know he supports Steam. Now, if he's playing on Steam, he's played this game. So in playing this game, he understood exactly what gem they had in this game. Now, also he has to toe the PC line. Remember, he's the head of Microsoft. They have Fortnite over there. He's has a partnership with Epic Games. They work well together. Gears of War has been very, very good with them. So you have to understand, he has to play the PC card. So when these guys say people are coming in and they are stealing and they're gutting the genre, it's really Fortnite, guys. It's really Epic Games that they're talking about, but he can't say it. You understand? I've never heard of somebody that gives you the groundwork, help you build your house, but then tries to sell your house from under you. And that's exactly what Epic Games has done to Bluehole. They try to shaft them, to be honest with you. And Phil came in and he gave them a bag. I don't think he gave them a bag in cash, but he gave them a security net and saying, "Listen, you come here, we will put you in a preview program. We will get a backing behind you. We will promote you at E3. We will promote you all the way through, and it will take off. Trust me, you have this." And it has taken off, right? Mm-hmm. I believe word of mouth will push this game forward. Now, as far as all the big developers come, yes, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Mm-hmm. These guys will come in. These games will be expounded upon. But also, you have to remember, only the true games that stay true to the essence of their game will last.
Absolutely right.
That is true.
This game will last. If everybody on your friends list is playing this, now you this is what has to happen. FOMO has to happen. Fear of missing out has to happen. When 3 of your friends are in a room and they say, "Yo, we're gonna play this PUBG," you don't have it. You're like, "What are you gonna go play?" I thought we was gonna play Destiny. Now we did that already. We just gonna jump in this PUBG. Hey, you don't got it? Nah, they got a 4-player mode. Come on in, go pick it up. It's $30. Serious? $30? Yeah. You download the game. It's only 5 gigs. You're in with your friends. You're playing. Now, you say that same thing to when you're in a room with your 2 friends, and it's gonna trickle down to where is when you look at the leaderboards on Xbox, everybody has this game.
I see
When
where you're going with that, man. Yeah.
Right. It's going to get infectious. When it gets to the point that is infectious and it reaches critical mass, then there's no way they're letting it go to Sony. That's why I know it's not going over there. They don't have a community that, like you said, those guys want to tweet about it. They want to hate on everything. They don't want to buy anything, and they just want to talk about our
Fortnite is so successful on the PlayStation right now because it's free.
Exactly, it's free. Do you understand? When it becomes a time for you to purchase, they're not going to buy that game. That game is going to lose all its steam. It's going to fall out from under them.
Well, we actually bought the Fortnite, so we got both modes and everything like that. So
I didn't. I tested it out. I looked at it. It was candy corn. I said I'm gonna rate for the real thing. I'm gonna get down on this on the real meal, and I'm glad I did wait down for that. I'm not gonna support the phony that tries to kill the little guy.
Oh, hold on. It was before they came out with the mode, though, man. I there was no knowing or anything like that. We got it for the actual game part. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm not bashing you. No, but I know about the history before then because they were saying, and I'm looking at Reddit and I'm reading, and I'm like, what? Are you serious? They did that to the little guy? Oh, I'm gonna buy the little guy's game when he comes out. So I was gonna support them anyway.
Got you.
But yeah, back to the knowledge that my man K Mac is dropping. He's dropping so many gems in there. I just love listening to you guys talk because there's a lot of science here.
I just heard Mega's head get bigger, by the way. And
I just appreciate because I mean when somebody is speaking truth, speaking sense. It's infectious. I mean, everybody on this panel tonight is bringing it. Even Dark Otter, and that when Otter talks some sensible shit, it's on another level tonight, man. We are. This is probably one of the best shows of all time.
Oh, yeah, I said it in the beginning, man. With that being said, if anybody else has any last words on PUBG on this whole thing when it comes to the bigger developers, speak it now. I'll give you a second. Go ahead and say whatever. Otherwise, we are going to move on.
I just want to say to all the people that are saying that we're beta testers for you, keep the dream alive. That's all I got to say.
Yo, we're going to be playing a game for 2 years before you even touch it, if that's the case. And then
keep the dream alive.
By that time, like, people might not even care about the game. So you can wait all you want, man. But then if it comes to that point, you might be the only one on that server. You might be fighting yourself, man. Anyway.
I had to get people salty, man. That's what I do.
Yes, sir. But I do want to move on. Talk about Salty. And I got really excited that, Saltiest Gaming, KingDavid said that they would be able to come on tonight because I know these are Destiny guys. And I want to get in and I want to talk about what Bungie is doing with Destiny 2. Now, Bungie is being, I guess you could say, to put it mildly, highly scrutinized over what is going on, specifically with the expansion. When Curse of Osiris came out, not a lot of people realized this at first, but there was a couple modes that were available when people first picked up Destiny 2. There was the Prestige Raid when that came out, when the raid actually dropped. The Prestige Raid, I believe, Trials of the Nine, and the Prestige Nightfall. And people were able to go in and play it. Now, when the expansion came out, they raised the power level of those modes. So inherently, if you were into playing those modes, if you were into playing kind of like the epitome of the raid, the hardest that you can go when it comes to the raid, which is the prestige level, if you were into that, you would need to buy the expansion to go and play that. And a lot of people got pissed because, like I said, there was like 3 modes there. amongst other things that happen with Destiny. I mean, we can talk about how the community is talking about this, talking about that, talking about tokens, talking about random drops, all that good stuff. We can go on and on forever about that. But I want to talk specifically about kind of like Bungie locking people out of these modes and then deciding that they were going to fix it. Now, I'm going to start with Salty here. Like, Salty, I know you're a Destiny guy. I know you're at least a Destiny 1 guy, like, through and through. How did Destiny 2 get to this point? And please, like, try to put me in Bungie's position here. Like, how would they not think that there was going to be an outrage to locking modes that people were able to play at launch, locking behind expansions? What do you think about this whole deal, man?
Man, I don't know how to explain it, dude. I feel so jaded by Bungie and Activision in the situation. The first people that got completely screwed over was the PC audience because they had to wait to get the game, if you guys know that. And then once they started doing this shit, they essentially cut content away from the people that got the game late, right? So you couldn't do the Prestige Nightfall trials or the raid. So essentially, Bungie's basically put you out on a plank and telling you to walk. It's like, well, if you want to enjoy this game and get back that content we took away from you, you're going to pay us for this expansion. And it didn't stop there, because when I was thinking about getting this expansion, which I ultimately didn't, I looked at the store and I was like, well, I just want to buy Curse of Osiris because I want to be a buyer that actually does research before I pay my money down on the game. But no, they didn't let you buy the DLC separate. They made you buy it as a bundle. Like once the DLC was out for a while, then it magically became unseparated and you can buy the game, it's weird to me because it feels like Bungie's getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar, and they're getting caught in these shady practices by the community. And then and only then will they come out and say, "Oh, we're sorry. I mean, we'll change it now because people are bitching, right?"
And they started to change it. What they're going to do is I'm not sure if they already did, but they dropped the Prestige Raid power level back down, right? They're talking about in future updates possibly putting in another difficulty level, which will scale up to the higher power levels when the other expansions drop and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I think Trials of the Nine. Correct me if I'm wrong. I still think that is cut off from people. I still think that they didn't drop the power level or anything for that, and I still think that is cut off for people to play. And I think they dropped the prestige level, the power level for the Prestige Nightfall. Now, with that being said, with them having to do all that, guess what? I didn't get a faction rally this past week, man. So, like, even people that have the expansion pass, we're kind of getting shitted on by Bungie having to correct their mistakes. Like, Salty, how do you think that they thought they were going to get away with this and not have to backtrack and change it, man?
I don't know. I think Bungie got fat and happy with this game, honestly. Like, it's a money printing machine. They're breaking records with the release of Destiny 2 is a huge hype train from Destiny 1, and they got fat and happy, and you see it with companies like EA and Star Wars Battlefront. They start pushing these shady practices to see how far the consumer will just allow it to happen, because I guess they see us as dumb people or people that don't do our research. But a lot of times people will just have their breaking points. I had my breaking points with this game, and it's unfortunate because it was my favorite game of earlier in the generation. You could just look at my time played, but you can only be pushed so far with your favorite developers or publishers, and everybody had their breaking limits, like I said. So they're just getting caught with shady practice after shady practice. But where does that end? With the consumer coming back to keep allowing them to do it, is what I ask. And
Salty, they have so much stuff coming down the line. We're getting something called the Dawning, which I'm pretty sure you're familiar with. That kind of like seasonal event. has its own armor and stuff like that. They're bringing Mayhem back to the Crucible. They did something. They did something with Masterworks for legendary weapons, and with all the good stuff that they're putting out there, it's all being overshadowed by stuff like this, man. When do you think Bungie's gonna wisen up, dude?
The thing that I want to tell you, Xbot, I know you weren't along for the ride in Destiny 1. The things that you're getting are the things that they cut out or they're reskinning. Okay, this Mayhem mode was already in Destiny 1. You know, the event that you're about to get is just kind of a piss poor event at best. The
armor looks sick though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's cool. I mean, a lot of it you're going to be getting through, you know, the Tess Everest company that's locked behind, you know, throttling of XP and XP gains on these random loot boxes, right? So we could talk about the fact that, you know, a majority of the things that you want to get are contained within these loot boxes, and they're not in the actual game in the rotation, but we won't get there. What I'm trying to say is, you know, it's arguable that they cut out, you know, what you got in the Curse of Osiris should have been in the main game, honestly. But that's what they do. They cut content out, they split it up, they take content away from you, and then they reskin it and they'll give it back to you at a later date. And I got tired of that practice, you know. So
I got you.
I'm salty if you can't tell. So, but that's what I do.
Nah, I can't tell at all, man. 2 tons of salt right there.
Yeah.
Let's go to my other guest, man. I'm not sure. He might have a word or two on this. Like, what do you think about what they did with the DLC, the expansion in the beginning with locking out these modes? And how do you feel about them, like, backtracking to fix it? Like, it seems like that's what they're doing all the time. They're coming out with stuff, and then they have to backtrack all the time and kind of fix their steps, man. Yo, King, what do you think, man?
All right. If our podcast is Iron Lords, right? I'm Iron Lord KingDavid, so that's going to give you exactly where I stand with these guys. We're 100% Destiny podcast. We have other content and other stuff that we talk about. Now, with that being said, I'm going the opposite way from Salty. I can understand he doesn't like the practices. I know Activision is in the business of making money. So you know, a lot of these people that got these tiki torches out here we go. Now, when they dropped the Osiris content, they dropped it out there and it had one major flaw. They have these dates that are set in stone. It's not like they are an independent entity that they don't have a corporate hand moving them. Corporate hand puts the date, they have to meet the date. That's how the developers work. That's how the corporate hand works. They have to make money. They have to make sure that they get it in this set amount of time in order to meet this market date and meet the next market date for the shareholders to see that it's profitable. Now, everybody's complaining. They're complaining. You said that the PC got the game a month late. They didn't get the first game at all. Be happy that you got it. Now, yeah, because they didn't get it at all. Play Destiny 1 on PC.
How many
you're gonna make me unmute my mic, dude. This won't be a debate, but I disagree, man.
Oh no! I know. Listen, I listened to your statement, and your statements was valid from your standpoint because you said you didn't buy the DLC. I purchased the DLC. I purchased the DLC in its entirety when I purchased the game because I have faith in the game. Now, when they locked everybody out, they made a mistake. The mistake was the light levels inside the Prestige would have gave them the extra gear at a light level that they shouldn't be able to achieve unless they have the DLC. That's a fatal flaw. They fixed it on Tuesday. All right, so now y'all can get into the Prestige on your regular light levels and you can play it that way. And that was a mistake. It was 1 week. 1 week, they fixed it. As far as putting their hands in the cookie jar and digging in with throttling, I feel you. They definitely did that. But what they did was they moved the goalpost back because the PC guys went inside and saw the code. This is what happens when you open up your game to PC guys. PC guys is going to dig all through your game. They're going to find out what you're doing. What dirty little practices that you got going on in here? Tess Everett is selling this. You can't get this over here. They have to make money someplace. This is a 10-year game. They're going to make money. The content is worth it. If you play the content is worth it. I know you're saying they're reskinning stuff and they're changing stuff around because the format that they had before was a little bit unbalanced. So now they're balancing it out. Now, we didn't get the fraction rallies because of the broken gun that they gave out. And that gun
I'm still salty about that, though. But I'll play it next week if they throw it Tuesday, man. I'm down. You know what I'm saying?
I was pissed off. I was mad because I wanted to, do my fraction rally and get these clothes. Because they got new clothes for every time they drop a DLC. They're fixing things as they move along. And I understand we played Destiny 1 and that was a 4-year game? It was a 3 or 4 year game. And it was at its entirety. It was completed. Right? So when they launched it, they were supposed to keep all the stuff that they did right and launch the new game with all that good stuff. But they told you in the beginning, if you was watching the trailer, Cade said everything blew up. When they took away all your loot that you had, all the stuff that you got in Destiny 1, and said all you could take with you was your face, you should have known the shysting was coming. You should have known from that point on that you only travel with your face. They say take your ID and meet me at the next stop, and you're gonna start from scratch. I'm starting from scratch.
You're gonna start from scratch because they're gonna reskin weapons and give you old exotics because there's not a lot in the base game,
But the old exotics are some of the things that people are the most excited for. Let's be honest.
But we had that for how many years? 3 years? It's just an excuse not to put out new content. Honestly, it's lazy. You can't say otherwise.
I'm 100% with you with that, and I'm not gonna say that you're wrong. I would hope that you would actually game with me so the camaraderie that you see would actually get you to purchase that DLC, and I will run every character that you got with you through it from beginning to end.
So
I want you to come back.
Quick question here. So Curse of Osiris, the actual story took about average of 2 hours, 3 hours for people.
Yeah, you say 2-3 hours tops.
So I watched it all the way through, and they're building up this new character, Osiris, and he was just not fleshed out, and he just disappears at the end. But that's neither here nor there. But what's up with them reusing the strike from Destiny 1 and going in there and reusing all these old areas, and then it's weird, man. Mercury.
You know what I can say to that? You know what I can say to that? And they have spots in Mercury that look like it's jumping points for you to use your cycle, that's land speeder, or what they stole, a land speeder, right?
Man, it's a sparrow.
Yeah, it's a land speeder. Listen, they have spots that you say, "Wow, man, my land speeder will work right over here. My sparrow work right over here. I could jump and do this." And they remove that from there because they're gonna expound on it in that area. And the strikes, when they put certain strikes and certain guns behind the PlayStation, because they took the money back from PlayStation, so they're forced to give PlayStation all its content first, and we are paying full price. We should pay $10 less. If they're gonna pay for that, we should pay $10 less because they have extra content that we don't have, and we're paying for a full content game, and we're playing more than PlayStation. That's my gripe. But those strikes, we would have more strikes next year, and we will have more exotics next year. Some of the exotics are really fun, I can tell you, because I just got a grenade launcher that shoots out these little spiders, which is amazing. Yes!
Dude, I hate you.
Zur is back to selling strange coins. I mean, it's coming back, Salty. I know I would be truly 100% upset if I didn't have faith in the developer The developer, yes. The corporate hand, I don't like Activision, and I think Activision is kind of dirty and nasty, and I believe that Bungie's regretting, getting in bed with these guys, but they have no choice. But I see the content and I see the fixes that they're doing, and they do it on a weekly basis. So, every Tuesday you see a little fix here or a little fix there, and they send out a hot fix there. So,
yo, KingDavid, and anybody else on the panel that has opinions with this as well, just feel free to say something. But here's also something. One of the big issues in Destiny 1 that the community talked about and they kind of were mad about was, they said when the expansions dropped, like the raids that they used to play, didn't really mean anything anymore because the light level recommended or whatever didn't go up with those raids as well. And one of the things that Bungie said was basically, they were trying to fix that issue that people were talking about with Destiny 1. And this is what they came up with, was raising that level, the power level up. And to keep it interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys believe that was something that they were trying to do, and it didn't work out right for them? In terms of the backlash that they got?
It did work.
Well, it didn't work in terms of the backlash. The community just went nuts.
Oh, in terms of the backlash, no. But I played the raid, and if you play it, because like I said, my character is a 330. And I went in and I played the Prestige over the regular raid, and the Prestige raid is actually harder, even at 330. So, yeah, they did fix it. They did scale. It didn't become irrelevant when the other raid layer came out. So
I got you. Now
I can't really comment on Destiny. I haven't really played it since that's been on Xbox.
And this sounded like, to me, some super nerd talk about about the penis demon. I don't know.
Oh, God.
You said super nerd talk.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Look. This is my
just
thing
getting into Destiny 2, though, man.
I know. And so for what this was, it was very interesting but I didn't understand anything what you guys were saying. And so for the people out there that didn't understand what the hell was going on, I'm just going to do this for them. So, but I just want to interject this one though. Look, I'm just getting started, and for what I've played, and big shout out to Delirium Blades for giving me that game, man. Thank you. The Xbox community is so fantastic, man. I cannot thank you guys so for everything that y'all do and the support y'all give me. But he told me, hey, look, if you really want to get into this game, you have to buy the DLC. So I bought the DLC yesterday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought the DLC yesterday. So I want to get into the game. I want to get fully in. I'm already a level 10 because that day that I played that we played for that little bit, I went ahead and just played and I got to a level 10, and then I haven't played again. I plan on when I take some time off of work the next during the Christmas week. I'm going to get on it, and I'm going to get on it hard. I want to beat the story. I want to get to a high level, and I want to, finally get into where we can all play, and I can see what these raids is all about and all of this. The only the only reason why I didn't want to purchase the game for myself is because of Activision. It wasn't because of Bungie. It was because of Activision. Their practices is disgusting. The way that they treat the gamer, it's to they treat the gamer as a number instead of as trying to make you feel inclusive, kind of like what Halo did with how they did their multiplayer, putting everybody, including everybody in. Even with Battlefield, even though you have to pay like $125 for that whole package, you get everything. They don't hold anything back from you, and that's something that I can't stand for what Destiny does. And as much as I like Battlefront 2, you don't want what Battlefront 2 tried to get away with as well. And that's not on DICE, that's on EA. And so again, I don't feel that Bungie should get the brunt of it because they're not the ones that made the decision. That was Activision when it came about making the money. They're just the ones making the game. And they're trying to correct the problems that they were told to do in the first place. That's my opinion. And so because as we all played Halo and we see what Bungie did with that, and when they had a publisher that cared for the gamer, they gave us a great quality game. You see what I'm saying? So again, I'm gonna give it a chance. It's just that the fact of it is that look, I think that people need to speak with their wallets, and if you feel that their practices is not justifiable, then don't buy that shit.
Yo, King, hold on one second. Yo, King,
okay.
you heard he said he wants to get into the game. So what I suggest is, King, he's on my friends list. Yo, add him up, and we will go with him. Like, yo, let him experience it. If you want to experience the story by yourself, that is no problem. Once you get into the end game and you want to get into the raids, I guarantee, Mega, the raid is something like you have never dealt with before. Yo, the teamwork needed and the situations and issues that are presented to you and stuff like that, man. Yo, I can almost guarantee you will be hooked, absolutely hooked after that. Yo.
We'll see. That's yet to be determined. Because remember, I bought everything from Destiny 1, and I dropped that shit like a bad habit.
Well, you didn't play with me, so.
Well, true. But you know what? When the people that I have played with, when I started to jump back into it earlier this year, you know, people were so far ahead of me, and then when they were trying to guide me through, they would just kill everything, and like, come on, Mega. I'm like, well, can I build my character up before you kill everything? You know, so you know, but it's all good.
What I do is to play with it. What I do is when I'm running with somebody that's, you know, like fresh face to the game, I kill a character, and when I kill a character, we both start off fresh face.
Nice.
Yeah,
so you'll take one of your 3 out and start over with that person
and kill him. I kill a character and then start over fresh. It's no big thing because I put like 70 hours a week into that game.
That is hardcore Iron Lord Destiny right there.
That's hardcore. That's on the next level. I like that though.
So if you guys think I'm a wayward soul for Destiny and you want to get me back on track in the faith, feel free to gift me the DLC, Saltiest Gaming, Xbox Live.
Salt mooch. Salt.
So if you want to save my soul when it comes to Destiny, let's see it. I mean, I'll test it out.
Somebody gift him that DLC, save his soul, so he can play with me, and we could be, we could put the buddy cop game on. Me and him just broadcasting, baby.
I haven't gotten a DLC. I probably won't. I'm just like,
you got the game. You got the game, Pred?
I got the game. I just don't have a DLC. And the thing is, like, my issue with Destiny was like coming off of Destiny 1 and how they handled the DLC on that. My biggest concern was how are they going to handle the DLC on part 2, and right now they're not off to a good start with me. So like I'm just like I'm gonna wait and see.
The same exact way.
I'm gonna wait and see, you know, and like maybe when the next DLC drops, or they drop another pack or something like that, maybe I'll jump in then. But like I just can't see myself jumping back into this when I have like other games to play right now too. And I realize like there's certain genres I'm not a big fan of. And this grinding genre that we're getting into now, it's just not my thing. I just can't sit there and do the same thing over and over and over and over again just to get my ranking up a little bit. It's just not my thing. I mean, it's for some people. Game isn't a bad game. I just can't see myself sitting there playing it consistently just to get gear. You know, just
I had a question for you.
Go ahead.
I had a question for you. In that Wildlands. Is that challenge just the Predator challenge? Is that just for like this weekend or something like that? Because if it's like a mainstay, I will purchase that game just to get that experience. But if it's just like like a weekly mode and challenge it to be back next month, then I'm not gonna do it. But
I'll say this: if either way, let me put it this way, I'm not sure if it's the weekly. It's not weekly. I think it's part of a game. Like I think it's like just a one little section of the game you can play. I did it, but I don't know if it's like a time thing or anything like that. But even if it wasn't, and you don't have this game, I wouldn't buy this game just for that section because it's really
I
short.
agree.
It's really short. If you're gonna buy a game, I will buy it for the what you're expecting to get in the future, like the battle royale mode. The PvP is really good. It's underrated. The game itself is really like the maps are huge. It's really long, but like it's a shooter. It's my type of shooter. So like And if you're not into military combat style shooters, playing with 4 other people or 3 other people,
I played the Division.
Yeah, well, the Division is something totally different.
I love the Division. Don't you say nothing bad about it.
Wait, I love the Division.
Yeah. Let's do it, Jack.
I was not gonna say anything. I played the other day, so like, I mean, like, but this is more of a military shooter. So like, it's got a decent story to it, but if you're expecting just that one Predator thing to be the sell off for you to get the game, don't do it. If you actually want to get into a somewhat tactical military shooter with different weapons and stuff like that, then get the game. But I know there's going to be.
I touched it already.
Yeah, the PvP is actually really, really good. I really wish they would do more of a team deathmatch in it too. But it's not bad for what they do with it. But it's just not Ghost Recon in the past. It's a totally different, like, every character has their own skill set and they do their own thing. Whereas the old PvP was like, you got a character, you go in, you got a gun, you go shoot and kill people. That's it. So it's different. But with the other game modes they're supposedly coming out with, I think if that's what you're interested into, it's definitely a good pickup, especially if you're into shooters. But the Predator mode, it's really short. It's really simple. If you know what you're doing, and you'll be done with it within 30 minutes.
Wow.
No.
Fred, is that I got too many damn games and that I just got to just play them. I just need to stop buying games because I got Ghost Recon. I got the whole thing, and now I want to jump on that Division. I'm glad that Dev, you said you played Division here recently. What did you think about that Horde mode? I thought that was great.
Whew. Yes,
that Horde mode is great. Have you played it, Pred?
Yeah, I played it. I actually thought I had footage on it today.
Okay.
But yeah, I played it. But again, and I'm
Brother, man, you gave me over a half hour of gameplay.
I did. I gave you a lot of shit.
I had to trim some of that.
just to make sure you put that shit in.
Mega, did you hear? He gave me over a half hour of gameplay.
Oh,
and he gave it to me a couple days ago.
Oh, wow.
Sure
Okay. Yeah, get him, Fred.
Yeah, he didn't put my shit on last time, so I'm like, you ain't double dose this time.
Double up. Damn.
But like, yeah, I played the Horde mode, but this is the thing that gets me. Like, so like this game, like the Division, Ghost Recon, and I don't know if it's an Ubisoft thing. I don't know if it's something they're doing like specifically with their business model, but like some of the shit they're releasing now should have been released when the game came out.
And you're right. See, that was the thing that was missing when I know Life, the Division. I mean, we beat that shit in less than a week. We were going through it, we were waiting for the DLC, and then by that time you had
other shit coming out.
Yeah, shit came out, Killer Instinct. You had other games that came out that just toppled it, and then they just kind of slow played. And that's why there's people that say I don't like the Division to this day, but they did it right. And now the next thing I want to do is get into the Dark Zone, where they have this mode where you can have I think eight people at one time. Yeah. So I definitely want to. That.
But you know what though, this game would still have life had they released that in the beginning. That's just like I'm a huge Ghost Recon fan, right? So like I remember Ghost Recon not for the story, for the fucking multiplayer, right? And they didn't release the multiplayer until like a couple of months ago. Like that shit should have came out at fucking launch. Like that's what your game is made for. That's what people bought for years ago, was for the fucking PvP. And then you take it out of the game and give it to me fucking like what the game came out in March. We got the PvP like in fucking September. Like why are you waiting so fucking long to release a mode that everybody's wanting this game for? So like, and it lost luster. Like people forgot about this game.
Yeah,
like people were like, Ghost Recon, I'm done. They finished it in like June. They put this shit in the shelf and never touched it again. And then like, oh, there's a PvP. Oh, there's a Predator mode coming out. Like, why the fuck wasn't this shit released like months ago? Like when the game was fresh on people's.
I agree. I don't know why Ubisoft is slow playing like that. It seems like they get a wild idea or they see something on another game and they're like, hey, how about that? Yeah, let's put it in some DLC later on. And I don't know if that.
And it'd be different if it was part of their path, right? Like they mentioned, like it'd be different if they mentioned this in March. Yeah, PvP is coming on this date, or this game mode's coming on this specific date in the future. They didn't even say that. They didn't even say that.
You wouldn't have purchased.
I might have. Yeah, no, I still would have purchased Ghost Recon at least. But at least I knew it was coming. But like when I bought Ghost Recon, I didn't know there was going to be a PvP. Like they didn't talk about it. Like it was like a secret. Like this whole horde mode on the Division, like that was a secret. Like that was never talked about. Like no one knew that was coming. Some people put the fucking game away, and then like, oh, there's a horde mode on it now. Like some people don't even know there's a horde mode on it. But like it should have been talked about sooner.
There was so much hate for that game.
Yeah, they dropped the shit like secretly, like boom, here it is. We got a new we got a new thing coming out on Tuesday. If you guys need to tune in and watch it, and it's a horde mode and some other shit. Like, why was that not talked about?
Yeah, I don't know. That is bizarre to me, and that's maybe they did that because maybe they might do something at this coming E3 to where they're going to show that they're going to advertise maybe the next Division
2,
Division 2 or something like that. I don't know, but it is sad that they haven't done it because the Division was really that game. That month of that game was serious, man. It was serious. I was like, I no life that damn game. Like I haven't no life the game in years. I said, man,
I was on that shit every fucking. What's my daily mission? What's my daily mission?
Yeah. Did you take out the trash? Nah, baby, I didn't do shit to play Division.
I wake up before work and start playing that shit.
Yeah. Well, I was off work. I was getting knee surgery, so I was on that. I was bored. Anyway, so I know people are like, okay, we go to the next topic, but I was just like, hey, man, Division is the shit. And if you don't like Division, I'm just giving you a. All right.
Well, check this out. There's one more topic. If we could touch on real quick before we get out of here. I know we're gonna go a little bit over time, but if the panel is down, I would really like to talk about it. And that's kind of like the information we got for Sea of Thieves. Are you guys down? You guys want to roll one more?
Yeah, man. With it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now,
the hell with this. No, I'm just joking.
Hey, man, if you got stuff to do, feel free, man. I only paid for 2 hours from our special guest, so anything.
Oh, you know what? You better get a damn refund.
This is true. I said time and a half. I'm good. I'll take it.
But check this out. When it comes to Sea of Thieves, right? This is a game that of course, a lot of the haters even went as far as to say this game was going to be canceled. So what did Microsoft do? At the VGAs, they put in an advertisement which actually had a release date, and I believe it's March 20th of 2018. Now, with that being said, a lot of people were really confused about what this game is. Where is its hook, the longevity? Why are people going to want to go in and play besides just manning a pirate ship with their friends? So they came out with kind of like almost like a tutorial video about progression, where they have like these different kind of like factions. You have a trade faction, you have a kind of like gold faction, and you have this more of a witchcraft type faction that you can build a reputation with. And when you build the reputations with each one of these factions, you get more adventures opened, more difficult objectives, more treasures, stuff like that, which also in turn will give you new titles for your pirate, will build on your reputation, and will give you more customizable things that you wouldn't get at like lower reputations within these factions. It sounds like a really fleshed out game in terms of progression and stuff like that. So I want to go down and I want to ask the panel. I'm actually going to start with the Dark Otter first. Dark Optimus, man, did you see kind of like this this video that talked about the progression in Sea of Thieves, and what do you think, man? Are you hyped now? Were you not so hyped before? Really? You don't say, man. So you're that angry about it? Like, is that what you're saying?
Man, fuck K-Meg. I looked into this and I was like, man, if this is something that, I mean, they said that it's going to happen. So, I mean, it's something that I'm actually looking forward to now. Before I wasn't really looking forward to the game because I was all like, I played the alpha and I was all like,
yeah, it's only like 20% of the game right there in the alpha, man.
yeah, that's only 20% of the game, but I was still like, I don't know about this game yet. And I don't know if I'm going to be interested in it. And then like, you know, they started coming out with more stuff. They started talking about it more. They started giving us more information about it. And now I'm like, you know, with me having the X now, I'm all like, dude, I'm down. You know, I want to play this. I want to see what's you know going to entail when I play with it with my friends and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think, you know, the game, will it succeed? Who knows? I mean, it's hard to tell because, you know, it's an Xbox exclusive. Really? Exclusives haven't, you know, really been that successful, but you know us, the hardcore gamers, we're gonna play it, we're gonna buy it, we're gonna, you know, enjoy it, and we're gonna praise it. But you know, we can only do so much to get this game out there.
I'm about common sense. If the game is trash, I'm gonna let people know the game is trash, man.
But that's the thing, you know, Microsoft has to market this thing too. You know, they really have to push this game out there. And I think
that limited edition controller, that's a nice piece of marketing right there.
And they're doing things to really do that, you know, to get that marketing out there, like with the controller, like you said. And then, you know, because that controller looks badass, dude. I'm all, man, I want to get that controller just to have it. But I'm also thinking, you know, like, they have to really market this game. They really have to put the commercials out there. They got to put billboards out there. They got to put this shit in magazines. They got to put it, you know, on the internet. You know, they got to, you know, have those banners around the websites and stuff. You know, they just got to really market this game, and then it will succeed. If it doesn't, then at least we know that we had a really great game with Sea of Thieves.
So Dark, because from what I remember, man, you were kind of like, yo, get that shit out of here before. So the video and kind of like the description and finally them coming out and giving more details on what you do in the game, you have kind of done. You did a 180 when it comes to Sea of Thieves now.
Yeah, dude, I did a 360. Okay, I went all the way around,
and then you went back, like, but you're not getting it again.
I went back, and then I went back to 180, and then, you know, it was like a back and forth for a little while, and then now that I see the progression with them explaining it and stuff like that, it gets me hyped, it gets me ready, and I can't wait for March, dude.
Nice. Yo, King, I know you're down with shooters, man. We're hearing you with like thinking about Ghost Recon, you know, Destiny, all that good stuff. When it comes to Sea of Thieves, I don't know. Were you excited about it before they gave these details, and how do you feel it now? How do you feel about it now after they actually let people know why you're playing the game? Yeah.
Okay. So at FanFest, because I went to FanFest this year, and Microsoft has this big thing with Sea of Thieves. Actually, it had these guys dressed up as pirates, and they was out there singing, "Oh," sound like SpongeBob and all that stuff out there. And we got a chance to touch the game. You know, people that had to wait on the line for 3 hours the year before. This year, the line wasn't that long that we had to wait on, but we got a chance to play the game. And we were just playing like little missions. They didn't have it set up that we could understand how we would progress through the games, or how would it, compare to like a Destiny type of thing where you had missions and quests and stuff like that. But they told you that stuff would be in the game. Now, it was enough content when I touched the game that the game felt good. We was on the water. We was able to get to the other guys' boats and attack them. And one of the biggest questions that I had when I was talking to the developer was, what if I'm playing solo? How can I go? He said, well, you have your own little boat. And in your own little one-man boat, you can man that boat and you can get out there on your own. But we would suggest you be with a team, because at a one-man boat is more maneuverable than a larger boat. But then you could go in there and steal these guys' boats. So he said there's a lot of intrigue to it and there's a lot of stuff to it. He said, trust, it would be a lot of content. The graphics and everything is smooth. The frame rate was great. I love the aesthetics of how it was going. So what they showed is they showed to have a backing behind it. I think as the game gets closer to release, then you will see more marketing for it. The controller, like you said, looks great. Everybody loves those little perks when you get that little controller.
Best looking regular controller, limited edition, like this gen, and that's even above the lock controller, man. I'm sorry, Mega, it is, dude. Like that controller.
It glows in the dark.
Yeah. It's got one gold trigger too, like a gold tooth on a pirate, man.
Yeah,
what?
Like a gold tooth. Yeah, yeah. They're all in. They're committed about this because remember, doesn't EA have some like Black Flag game that they showed is supposed to be coming out? Some
that's actually
Ubisoft.
It's Ubisoft, and
it's it got delayed too. So
that's what it's called, Skull and Bone.
Yeah, good because it looked horrible.
That's some more time. They need some more time with that game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the whole pirate thing is making a comeback. So I think Microsoft is gonna, do whatever numbers with the game. Will it be a top seller? Hopefully, it sells better than Recore.
Yeah. I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will.
Yeah. That game needed a preview program. Anyway.
Yo, Mega.
No one would have bought it.
Mega,
Okay,
I gotta ask, Mega. Did you see the video about the progression for Sea of Thieves? I think you were
finally got into and got a chance to play it last night.
All right, so
yeah.
With that being said, because they went into detail in the video about the progression system and stuff like that, it seems like a really deep game. Not only is it really deep, but you still have that element of playing with your friends, having it be a real like streamable game as well, because like you put you and your friends together on a boat, you're gonna have a blast. Either you're gonna be arguing or just so much stuff going on, man. What do you think now about Sea of Thieves with being able to play it and kind of like what they're talking about with the progression of the game?
Well, the thing of it was for me was that I think this was a streamer's dream game. This was going to be a streamer hit. If you are a gamer that is into streaming your content, this Sea of Thieves was that game, and I'll still stand by that 100%. The thing of it was this my type of game? Because I haven't had a chance to get my hands on it. Now, I only played it by myself. And when I first started, I was like, damn, this isn't going to be my cup of tea. It does, graphically, I can play any type of genre of game, but this seemed like it was kind of cartoony when it was kind of cutesy or whatever. And I was like, I don't think I could get into it until I got on that damn boat. When I got on that boat and got on that water jack, it was a whole different experience. I'm over here eating bananas and I'm selling the seas, and I'm over here, let's go. I was excited, like, damn. I was like, I'm doing nothing but on a sea, on a boat, and I'm like, I'm by myself. I said, I can imagine how this game could be if I have a crew. And I'm like this, and then when I finally went on an island, I think it was Skull Island or whatever. And then I fought some enemies, and I'm like, okay. And then I went to the store, and then I seen there was different merchants, and then I seen the possibilities of what that game could be. And hopefully I'm not breaking any rules or whatever.
You probably are, but go ahead.
Damn it! I'm sorry, but
get them banned. Get them banned.
You're not saying anything that hasn't been shown on their videos. So
cool. Because I didn't see the video, but the only thing I was just going to say is that I can see that this game has a whole bunch of potential that could just take this particular game to the next level. And this is a huge hit, not only for Xbox, but for Rare. Because Rare's been needing it. And this, look, I'm pleased and definitely I'm gonna go ahead and get this. I'm gonna pre-order it probably here next week or before the end of the year, because I already see now that this is where, if you're an Xbox gamer, primarily. This is what Xbox is all about. It's, you know what I'm saying, the multiplayer, the community, the atmosphere, and then on top of that, when people was talking about the water, and I'm like, that's the stupidest thing to talk about. You're talking about water. And then when you see it, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't. What's going on here? Like, man,
that water though.
And then the sunset comes, and then you look in, and I'm like, I want to take a picture of this so bad, but I can't. It's amazing, man. Look, I'm telling you, man. I don't think it's
Elgato is a hell of a device. I'll just let you know right now.
I don't think it's going to be for everybody, but I think that this game is going to do extremely well. I think this might be the best-selling Xbox game, unless there's some surprises coming down the line with what other exclusives might come. That comes out 2018.
With seeing that they finally talked about the progression system, how deep the game is. I've been playing Sea of Thieves on and off for a while now. I already knew about the water. I already knew about the graphics in that situation. But man, looking at that game and then looking at the year that it's coming out, with State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, Forza Horizon 4. Damn. We are going to have a crazy year next year, man.
And I'm sure we're going to get some surprises because you forget Ashen. That was a game that I was highly anticipating. And then plus the multiplats that's going to be coming. I'm sure Xbox is going to have some surprises. Ori and the Blind Forest comes out in 19.
Ori 2,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, Ori 2 comes out in 19. But
so everybody can throw their controllers again, man.
Real. So.
But Pred, what did you think about Sea of Thieves, man? I'm not sure if you're a pirate guy or whatnot. But now that they came through and they said exactly what you'll be aiming to do and how, the challenges and the treasure maps, they'll get harder, more creative and stuff as you build your reputations and stuff. What do you think about this game now, man?
I won't lie, man. When I first got into it and played the beta or the alpha, I was kind of on the fence. I was like, I don't think I'm going to get this when it comes out. I'm not really seeing, the vision of this game. It just looks like I'm just running around eating bananas and shit. And I know they were just slowly adding shit to the game. I mean, it was I go sell here, I pick up some treasure, and I fucking turn it in for cash, whatever. And that was all we were doing, But that's all they gave us. And like someone said, it was 20% of the game. I knew there was going to be more to it, but I needed to see it. And now that I've seen it, I'm actually really hyped about it now. Only takeaway, I think, like, I'm thinking like pirate ship, right? I'm thinking like, what was that show that came out on Stars or whatever like a year or so ago? I think the season was ended.
I know.
Black Sails. Yeah.
Black Sails.
So I'm thinking like, dude, I want a pirate ship with like fucking 60 people on it, right? Like, and it's only 4. I wish they would at least up it to like maybe 16 or something like that, and let you do something like, and let you do missions and go against other pirates. I don't know if that's even capable on the system itself, but it's still fun when you get in there with 4 people. I tried to play the solo thing. I have not tried this new build yet that just came out recently because I think there was an update on it like Saturday or Sunday, like shortly after the little conference, right?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but it's been probably like maybe 2 weeks since I jumped into it and tried it out. But I will say this. So my stepson, he's a Sony guy, right? He's a little Sony kid, a little knucklehead. He loves his PlayStation 4. Got it. But every time he sees me playing Xbox, he saw me playing PUBG on the PC. He played the Sea of Thieves alpha on my Xbox, and he was in love with it, right? Both of those games. He's like, oh, man, I can't wait. This comes to PlayStation 4. I'm like, nope, not coming, homie. Really? Oh, fuck. No, he didn't say fuck, but I'm saying, but like,
damn.
He's like, really? He's like, you sure it's not coming out? Like, dude, I can tell you right now, Sea of Thieves is definitely not coming out there. PUBG, I don't know. But he sat here all summer and played that game. He played nothing but Sea of Thieves the entire summer, and he loves it. Like, and so I can tell it's like with him, for him to play something like that, because he's a shooter guy, for him to play something like that as much as he did, I can tell this game is going to be big with like even the younger generation, like younger kids and stuff like that. Because like you said, K-Mega said it, like it looks kiddie, right? It draws them into it, but we're interested into it as adults too. So it's going to have that longevity that they're hoping to get from it anyway. So foresee this game going anywhere for a while. It's gonna be one of those growing games that you continuously play, and they add more and more content to it.
And Pred, you know what I noticed? Like with this whole reputation system, you're trying to get to what they call legendary status. You're trying to get to becoming a legendary pirate. And at the end of the video, he teased that there is something coming in terms of content for the legendary pirate. So when you're talking about like the 60-person crew or something like that, imagine if you become legendary, you can now like man a ship that has double the crew. You can be the leader of that and get like, you know, double the crew in there or something like that. There's going to be something else. They said that they're going to be supporting this game for a while as well. Like King said, there's going to be a lot of content, man. For anybody who is hating on this, like whether it was the stables out there and the ponies, like, you know, clicking their hooves and talking about how that game's going to be garbage and cartoony this and whatever. Yo, you guys are in for a rude awakening, because not only does it have, right now, the best-looking limited edition controller on the market, and that's between...
Yo, that controller is sick, yo.
It's fire, man. People are going to see that, going to be like, what is that? They're going to be like, oh, the Sea of Thieves controller. What's Sea of Thieves? And then before you know it, oh, yeah, and it's an Xbox exclusive. Like, it's just going to go on from there. You guys are in for a rude awakening. Because this game is going to do a lot more than a lot of these people out there are predicting, man. And it's going to be one of those hot titles for next year, in my opinion, in my opinion. Salty, again, you're another person that's interesting to me, because I don't know if you're a pirate guy or whatnot, but what did you think before this video that actually put out some detail about the game, and then afterwards, man?
Yeah, I participated in the alpha as well. I liked it. I actually got a chance to play with 2 other buddies, so we experienced what it was like to be on the bigger ships and do those things. Before they came out with this video, I was very skeptical on the longevity of the game because of the things that you were doing, you know, that everybody talked about. But the biggest thing is this content, and I think that they address those things and those needs and those issues. The only thing that I question at this point is the price point. I still think $60 is going to be kind of a hurdle for some people. Not for everybody, but I don't know, $60. I know that the content's going to be there, but that's my only question right now is the price point for the game. So
I think it's going to be a full $60 game, and
yeah, I already see it. It's $59.99.
Yeah. So hopefully, you know, with all the stuff that they talked about, you know, in that video, it'll address a lot of people's, you know, fears for the longevity, because it is a multiplayer only game, so it needs to be sustainable to stay alive, you know. And the guy was talking that you can play with by yourself, but it's not recommended, and that's so true, because I tried to, you know, get on one of those, you know, solo ships, and you get these treasure maps out, you know, and all this other stuff, and in this game is built around, you know, playing with other people. So we had some randoms, like a random dude jump in, and he wasn't in the party with us, so he was like going off on his own and not helping us out, and he ended up disconnecting. I guess if you're on the, I don't want to get sued here for NDA, so I'm just gonna keep, you know, stop talking. I don't know what I can say or what I can't, but it's just it's made to play with other people, and I think it will do well, obviously, because it's on Xbox, and that's the kind of games that we enjoy here. So we'll see, man. I'm excited for it. I don't know if it's a day one for me, honestly,
nice.
But we'll see.
Well, yeah. I know Snaps, when it comes to that controller, she like, as soon as she saw that was it. She is getting that controller. The controller is it's about $75 plus tax, by the way. The game itself, full retail price, $59.99 plus tax, and I cannot wait to play it. I was excited about it before time. I knew there was going to be a lot of content in it. My boy Craig, who I talk to from time to time, Craig Duncan, he assured me as well that there's going to be a bunch of content. This game's going to be supported for a long time, and that's another thing that interests me, because I've been hearing when it comes to Crackdown, right? That game's going it's been stated kind of like behind closed doors that game is going to be supported kind of like in the same way that GTA 5 is supported, and you know how much content has been dropped when it comes to that game over the years. And then with Craig and Sea of Thieves, man, saying that it's going to be supported for a while as well. That's two Xbox exclusives that are talking about long-term support and added content and stuff like that. So it's really exciting to see. But guys, we did go over on our time. I did it in true Mooch style, although I did give the warning, before time on that topic. I just felt like it was something important that we should definitely talk about. But like a 40-year-old with a comb over, we got to get these plugs in. Again, I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming and hanging out with us live. I want to thank our special guests and our regulars on the panel as well. I don't think I thank them enough, man. They always do a great job every Saturday. So first, since we went alphabetical on the introductions, we're gonna flip it opposite. So let's go to Saltiest Gaming. Like I said, one of the newest members to the 1K Club on YouTube. Yo, Salty, why don't you let people know where they can find you, about your channel. Man, you know the deal.
Yeah, you guys could find us at Sunday nights, the Saltiest Podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern. We talk about gaming in general. We focus on Xbox, but we touch upon all kind of new subjects as well. I also do content on the daily on my channel for Xbox news, and I'll be adding walkthroughs and game reviews as well, so stay tuned for that. Nice. I'm a member of Loot Chest Radio. It's a new thing that we started with Jay Fonzarelli, Digital, and Brat podcast. So it's kind of a pre-recorded thing, so you can find us on iTunes and stuff like that. The newest episode will be dropping tomorrow, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks for having me on.
Nice, Salty, man. Yeah, like I said, you're an extended part of the family. If there's ever a time that you want to come on, man, you could just you could send me something in a DM, even if we're live on the show. Like if I see it on Twitter or whatever, I'll send you to hang out. You're welcome anytime, brother.
Sounds good, man.
All right, no doubt. And for his first ever appearance, man, knocking home runs out the park left and right. Yo, KingDavid, man, it was an absolute blast to have you on. I hope, down the line you will come back on again. But, man, you got to let people know where they can get a hold of you and what type of project shows and stuff like that you do on YouTube as well, man.
All right. Well, I'm part of the Four Horsemen on Iron Lord's podcast, where it comes on Sundays at 11. This is our last show at 11 a.m. in the morning for football purposes. After the new year, we'll be back at 1 p.m. on Sundays. We touch on every system. We are multifaceted. We have Xbox, we have PlayStation, and we have Switch. But mainly,
you deal with handhelds too. Then, when you talk Switch, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Hey, listen, man. The Switch is a little powerful train engine that could. It's doing what it can. I had a great year. Had a great year, so and I'm glad to be a part of that. I'm glad to be a part of this show. When Xbox hit me up, I didn't know if I would be able to make it because on Thursday I did Potentially Perfect. Shout out to him. But I really wanted to get on so bad. So, I asked the family because, Saturday is family day, and I asked the family, can I just slide out real quick, please? I really want to be on the show so bad. And it was like, the blessings was given.
Again, man. Over 2 hours, they're never going to let you on again. Dude.
They don't care. I'm in the basement. They don't care about me. They're eating donuts. They don't care. But, it's so great to meet new YouTubers and new gamers, and I hope to see you guys on Destiny because I really play there. Trust me, I will kill a character for you. We can get busy, baby. Yes, Division, I'm down for that. If you want to get that salt, let's do it.
Nice, man. And let's move on down the list. To the usual suspects, man. I keep quoting Mooch. I don't know why. I think it's because I graduated from that school. But let's hit up Predator, man. Yo, Pred, what have you been up to lately? And let people know how they can get a hold of you, man.
Yo, I've been dropping into the PUBG a lot lately on the Xbox, so you guys can always find me there. Predator _H2OS Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Switch. Just look it up on Twitter because I don't know what the fuck it is. But hit me up on any of those channels. Also, I have my podcast. I try to do on Sundays as much as possible. Xbox After Party solo podcast is me running my mouth right before the Mooch and Crap show. Obviously here on this channel and also on the Shop podcast on Thursdays, and Crossfire every now and then too. So
nice, yeah. You were absolute fire on Crossfire last night, man. That was a show, man. Time flew by last night.
Dude, I didn't want that show to end last night. We were having a good time last night.
No doubt. Dark Otter with his new sound, man. I don't know if it's ready, but if he gets angry, he sounds like what? Yo, Dark Optimus, man. It was a lot of fun having you back. You said you're gonna be back a lot more consistently. So I did put that out there to the public. So if you don't show up next week, man, they will be hunting you down. I want to let you know that. But, let them know what shows you're on, what you've been up to, and where they can find you, man.
Yeah, man. You guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox Live, the same name. You can also check me out on the Quest podcast every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And we also have a new Facebook page. It's called Questing and Gaming, or Gaming and Questing. Sorry, my bad. You guys go over there, check it out, hit that like button, hit that follow. We do definitely appreciate it. We're up to 17 followers right now, but we would like to have a ton more.
Like to have like 17,000.
Yeah, exactly. We want to build up the podcast and make sure that you guys, tune in every Thursday for that. Yeah, man, it's always fun being on the next podcast, and I want to continue to keep coming back, and I know I've been missing a lot, but I definitely am gonna try to be here as much as I can.
Dude, it's all good, bro. You're fan, man. Trust me. You just have to learn to come up with sound bites to go against K Mega.
I know, man. I gotta come up with like something.
Yeah, you just do Mariah Carey gifts for being a diva. You know what I'm saying? Sweet. No, never mind. You don't want me singing.
Please don't sing. I gotta sleep tonight.
I was thinking about doing that. Let me take a selfie. I was thinking about doing that.
Wow.
Oh no!
So
No.
You will be kicked off the panel indefinitely. Dude, it's great having you back on, man. It's like we didn't even.
Yeah, definitely. I love being on. Even though K Mega gives me shit, I love being on here, dude.
Nice. And let's go to the diva of the day, Mr. Fashionably Late. Yo, he did the whole Ja Rule thing, man. He's never there when we call, but he thinks he's always on time. Yo, and that would be Mega. Let people know where they could get a hold of you and that long Dead Sea Scroll of shows that you're on, man.
Oh man, appreciative to be on the show as always, man. And a big shout out to Z Black Rider for giving out $20, you know what I'm saying, to the podcast, man. I will want my cut of $1.50. Not playing, I'm just playing with you. Hey man, it's awesome. Thank you so much for showing love to the podcast, Z Black Rider, man, and for everybody that listens to the show, man. I've been here with Xbox from day one, and every time that I'm here, man, it just feels like home, man. Because we boys, and it's been great. So anyway, you can catch me on the GRG podcast every Friday night after Crossfire. We hit a milestone.
That wild podcast that has like 20 people on it.
We don't have 20 people on. We had quite a few people last night, but it wasn't 20 people. But man, we hit a milestone. We hit about, I think it was 5 weeks in a row. We hit over 1,000 views. Man, thank you
nice.
For rocking with us. Last week it got broken, but I'm just thankful. I didn't even think that we would hit as many episodes that we could as me being a narrator. But thank you for the support, and also You can catch me on the King of them all. You know what I'm saying? BGST with Xbot, Tim Dog, Zaire.
I can't wait to get back in
Crap
there, man.
Gamer.
It's been a couple weeks, man. It's gonna be fire.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. I'm glad to have you back, especially, you know what I'm saying, from you coming from what you had to go through. So, you know, it's glad to have you here. Wish Don was here, and I'll never say anything ever nice again about Don because he's out there in Africa right now going and hunting. Well, he's not hunting, he's over here trying to save hippos' hooves with him and his wife. But anyway, and then the multiplayer that's on Thursday nights. You can check me out there, and that's the Wild Podcast. That's the fanboy shit. So, you know, if you're not into the whole crazy shit that they like to talk about with numbers and all that, stay clear away, Jack, because it's brutal. And anyway, thank you. You know what I'm saying? It's Saturday night, man. We got to be gaming, or you got to be.
Dude, I spent all Saturday putting the gameplay together, man. I can't wait to get on my Xbox and actually play something and not let just YouTube run in the background all day. But yeah, huge shout out to Z Black Rider, man. Thank you so much, guys. I will let you know, you are the faithful. You are the guys hanging here until the end of the show. I will let you know that we're gonna do basically the typical thing that a lot of the community podcasts are doing. If you donate, man, you got a question, anything like that. As we're on the show live, like, because it'll come up in a different color, I'll see the question right there. We will answer that question immediately, go through the panel and answer your question, give you a shout out. So this way, even when the show's not live, people will know that you are the one who answered the question and that we are responding and answering to you. So that's how we're going to use the super chat for the future of this podcast. So I can't wait to see what people ask, like, as we're talking about these gaming news and stuff like that. It's gonna be really awesome. Again, huge shout out to the special guests, and we need to get these controllers in our hands. So as I say at the end of every show, we will check you out next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Peace.
Night, everyone.
Billy.